feel like tripping on rewind. The blessing I got from the angels around me are really some A1.
Renegade 危险将我包围 Renegade 浓雾自我击坠雨落下扣紧我外套一辆车穿梭在轨道你不想成为我目标 Renegade go on the more
Renegade, let's go 24 Let them all blow but I can't come Pedal on a pedal with an old brick Get room bump up 400 dash roll Got through 300 the M Get lifted by the new be cool Let's do flat over your head Body got another on me Oh, double nine Renegade, let's go 24 Let them all blow but I can't come Pedal on a pedal with an old brick Get room bump up 400 dash roll Got through 300 the M Get lifted by the new be cool Let's do flat over your head Body got another on me Oh, double nine
I wanna be a hero 自分を信じろ誰かのために心をたぎらせろ You know 困難な道を行く俺はヒーローどんな奴が来ても Take over game over 終わることない戦いの旋律に身を任せ運命は絡み合う限界の向こう側へと明日の勝者はどっちだお前は悪か正義か決めるのは真の勝者だ負けても誰かがこの世をコントロールしようとしてるんだって誰か
Y'all sit back and watch me speak. About to take over your screen. Talking bulls in 93. Talking mom, I'm on TV. Y'all know all I do is me. All I do is me. Y'all sit back and watch me speak. Y'all sit back and all I know, my money green. About to snap and make a scene. My cup off and make this free. My cup off and make them scream. Go pop off for TMZ. Y'all sit back and watch me speak. Y'all sit back and watch me speak. Y'all sit back and watch. Watch me. Watch me. Watch me. Sit back and watch. Sit back. Sit back. Sit back. Sit back. Money long, nothing on credit. I got style, don't catch no feelings. All this bread ain't got no lettuce. I got style, don't catch no feelings. Watch me. Watch me. Sit back and watch. Sit back and watch. Sit back and watch. If it ain't got style, I ain't with it. I ain't with it. If it ain't got style, I ain't with it. Look. If it ain't got style, I ain't with it. I ain't with it. If it ain't got style, I ain't with it. Look. Watch me. Sit back and watch. Watch me. Sit back. Sit back. Watch me.
you been? Now I'm back, let's bump that. Got a phantom in my hand, I'll crush that. Get an agent on flank, got a loop back. Shall we simmer on down with a 5-step? Where we been? I don't know, going downtown. Got the city lights seated like a ghost town. Got the butterflies hiding all spooked out. Cause we got radiant night, you better bow down. Now whoa, you from Omega with the oh no. I'm with the alpha and you know, don't make that ticket spike sound. Put that away, you'll hurt yourself. Be an anchor, let it all come your way. We got plenty for you, boy, just say we got sheriffs. So sorry-eyed boys got the venom highs blown to the venom well. Who's there? Know this.
When my back's against the wall, all the mirrors will dissolve. Bring the heat, bring it on. Watch me ignite it. I prove in silence. No footsteps. I'ma take you all down like dominoes. I'ma take you out with another spike drop. Overheated, but I love to lock and load. I hear the echo, I hear the echo. Bang bang, run it back. Team with the versatile, ta-ta-ta-ta-ta all day. Enough with the chit chat, steady with the one tab. I'ma set it off, just wait.
Oh, eres de Omega con la oh no. Sabe que la alfa soy yo. Go, vete, vuelve cuando no estoy así. Desapareció. Oh, ¿cómo piensa que no? Traigo la peña, las de Shadow solo. Llama chatarrero que se va a hacer rico de lo que dejaré ti por el suelo.
When my back's against the wall, all the mirrors will dissolve. Bring the heat, bring it on. Watch me ignite it. We're from different worlds. Mirror, mirror eyes. Can you feel the burn? Watch me ignite it. Watch me ignite it.
Am I learning my lesson? Never running from wreckage when it's getting too close. A million reasons to turn, a million ways to get burned, and still inside it I go. I'm caught inside the fire again. I'm caught inside the again.
close to tell. In another life we might be playing it safe, but not here with her. Now we're playing with fate.
Don't be fooled or mistaken by my angel face. I'm just a hot head looking for a reason to break. I'm the wizard of death, I'll come visit you next. Just put my name on it next to your very last breath. I'm caught inside the fire again. I'm caught inside the fire again. I'm the wizard of death, I'll come visit you next. Just put my name on it next, tell your very last.
틱틱 문을 차고 있죠. 이건 데자부 이미 와본 걸까. 내 성공을 전부 담긴 그릇이 작아. I can't lose 점수 그건 의미 없는 숫자. 내 열의 top 10 거는 식당. 해골로 채운 옷장 전부 대스탁. 상시주의 red dot 경고는 없어 better not. 난 사방에 다 뿌린지 마치 red hot.
Broken and bruised, what's left to lose? Here on the edge of forever. If I never win, I'll never fight. Win or sacrifice, fight until the final hour. Pain is my superpower. Keep my head up high, run through rain or shine. Cannot sleep without the sour. Pain is my superpower. 할 말 있음 어서 말해봐. Tough guy 되었고여서 도망가. 이제는 시시해 gunfight. I brought a blade. They forgot to shave. 날 주세 와 맛보게 fade. 끝이 보여 네 bandits. 끝없는 내 rampage. 이게 나니까 저지 can't change. 내게 나서 plan B. 요즘 plan A. 바꿔 pain every champion in the champagne. Broken and bruised. What's left to lose? Here on the edge of forever. If I never win, I'll never fight. Win or sacrifice, fight until the final hour. Pain is my superpower.
전부가 돈이라면 fans on me 더 세게 괴롭혀봐 나를 rain on me 다 가슴은 bang bang 전부 걸어 게임처럼 너의 고개를 떨굴 때는 dance on it 모두 몸에 걸어 눈이 빛나는 걸로 전부 걸치고 난이 노리는 것들일 거야 발밑에 쫓아와도 너는 절대 못 껴 넘어질 배포도 없는 애들은 no 따라오지 못하는 건 내 알바가 아니지 그래서 the boys not my type 아니 거리동이 틈에 판이 바뀌지 이기는 건 당연하니 cause my type 시시하게 겉으로만 판단하겠지 웃는 얼굴로서 저렇게 잘 봐 날 멍청한 애들이 여기 자꾸 넘치니 바가겠어 네 몫을 내 못해 짜증나면 질러
Red Bull gives you wings.
Yeah. Let me get a punch. Let me get a punch. Let you feel the punch. Let me get a punch. What a hoop, don't sleep, oh yeah, yeah, boom. What a hoop, don't sleep, oh yeah, yeah, boom. What a hoop, don't sleep, oh yeah, yeah, boom. What a hoop, don't sleep, don't punch me. Don't keep getting me pissed before I make you bleed. Pray for your rest in peace. It's the only piece that you need, even a punch. This is the purge. Everybody, please, your perk. Your perk, I'ma kick these people with my kitty pound. Play with the wrong gal pound. Put when they put get back pop on out. Pop on now, yeah, I'm a kite being my pound, 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 pound. Pack it out, back it out. กูสร้างมึงภาพลับ yo, how about now, bruh? จบบ้านนี้ไม่ต้องรอถึงหูพวกกูจัดมึงจุก now, out, out. Need a pepper, pick a pack of peppers. People like me pick a pack of bricks for a week per day per minute. Rapper like me ทำพวกมัน panic บอกกูเป็นผู้หญิงมีผลต่อ proof ไม่ควรได้ pride เข้าใจมึง lose อะไรไม่รู้พร้อมพวกขี้แพ้มาผ่านกูพูดไปก็ไร point เขาต่อยสักชุดดีกว่าว่าพวก What a hoop, don't sleep, oh yeah, yeah, boom. What a hoop, don't sleep, oh yeah, yeah, boom. What a hoop, don't sleep, oh yeah, yeah, boom. What a hoop, don't sleep, don't punch me. All problems are proved in one punch. All battles are beat in one punch. Put you to sleep with this one punch. ไม่สะเทือนกูสักนิดกูขอสกิลด้วย one punch. ชีวิตที่กูโดนมามากกว่า one punch. วันนั้นที่กูเจอกูสักคนมา one punch. One day, one life, one dream, one punch. If you have one shot, better have one punch. Eminem said, Millie Rabbit, on the road short. You just catfish. Kevin said, พ่อแม่คือความจริง Separate from the competition. ผลลัพธ์คือ I'm the best, bruh. What a hoop, don't sleep, oh yeah, yeah, boom. What a hoop, don't sleep, oh yeah, yeah, boom. What a hoop, don't sleep, oh yeah, yeah, boom. What a hoop, don't sleep, don't punch me.
This stream contains fast-flashing images that may affect viewers who are susceptible to photosensitive epilepsy and other photosensitivities. Viewer discretion is advised. Welcome to the penultimate day of playoffs. We are edging closer and closer to crowning a winner of stage 1, but the job is not done just yet. We'll be bringing you the lower bracket finals today, but before we get there, let me introduce myself and our desk as well. I am your host, Yingsu. I'm joined by Billy, Kakuka, and Petra. Welcome back. Now, we have arrived at our top 3, so I wanted to ask you, who's your big 3? Now, if you ask me, my big 3 is probably Kankan, Smoggy, and me, and myself, like no context given. So what would you consider as your big 3?
Oh, You're really putting us on the
It's a
spot
good question,
here.
I thought.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I'm gonna go for. This is so complicated.
You're not going to go for the 3 Spanish teams in our league?
I'm in so much pain. Why are you doing this to me? Honestly, I'm gonna go for Team Heretics. I'm gonna go for Petra.
Oh, wow, okay.
And I'm gonna go for the Spanish community. That's my
Nice.
big
Thank you
three.
so
That's
much.
a good big 3. What about you, Petra? Now you've been name dropped.
Heretics for sure.
Yeah.
They're always in my top 3.
Never know.
You guys, because you guys have been great for me, and you guys are helping me out here. And yeah, I guess you do.
G2!
Okay,
Oh, loyal.
Okay, I'm gonna go for Clove,
Yeah.
Nilzinho, and Kyrocasts.
Oh, I love that.
So Scott didn't make the cut in that one, so I'm gonna tell him you said that. But let's take a look at what happened yesterday, because we had to say goodbye, unfortunately, to BBL. Didn't make it to any of our big 3s. Kind of sad, but they had a good season.
And throughout all of it, they only lost to Team Heretics and to Team Liquid, right? Both in kickoff, and now here to not make it to the international event. Of course, a big loss, but we started off the day seeing that Fnatic versus Heretics so many times that we had seen that encounter, and in most of the times it was going to that Heretics roster. Fnatic completely revamped and looking different, and someone that was also looking very different yesterday in their compositions was Team Liquid.
Yeah, and Petra, I know you put Heretics in your big 3 there. Were you surprised that they dropped down into the lowers to play today?
Yeah, actually, I did, especially in the last map. I was feeling they could have a great game, but near the end it was not very good for them. So
Yeah, it's brutal. It
Yeah,
gets really
very.
brutal when we get to playoffs. And looking at the bracket, we've arrived at the first best of. I was going to say we've arrived at the first bridge of the evening. The brain rot in my mind.
Cross it with me.
Yeah,
Okay.
the brain rot in my mind is crazy. But Billy, this is our top 3 now. BBR, we're very, very close. But on the flip side of this, are you surprised that Fnatic have had a flawless playoffs run?
Yeah, I actually
me
am.
too.
Like, I am quite surprised, and I think yesterday they showed like the kind of dominant warpath, I guess, that they're on at the moment, and how they've taken this playoffs by storm.
Yeah, and the champs points, as you guys can see behind me, it's going to matter a lot, Kakuka, especially considering Vitality will not be going to Masters Toronto.
Yeah, absolutely. If we take a look at this board, this is how the points were standing before we got into playoffs. So, of course, we would have to give 1 point to BBL, and some that will be distributed amongst our top 3 once we have who's going to be standing on those positions. But we all know it. Big investments coming into this year, all of the super teams and whatever, but everything that matters in the end is making it to champs.
Yeah, and Petra, you're someone, you know very well about champs
Making it
points.
for points, yeah.
Making it to champs and how like this mathematically, it matters, right? Every single point matters.
of course it matters. It can be close near the end, and yeah, you need to take every point you can get. So.
Yeah, you don't have to win stage 2. You can go on points.
Yeah, it's possible.
It is possible. It is possible. But Liquid are now in a really good position.
Yeah, they are, especially if they win today as well. Like, the more points that they can get, the better for them on the road to champs.
Yeah, there is a world. I know over in Americas, you know, G2 are really leading. So, but there is a world where we get to split 2, and this is going to matter a lot.
Yeah.
But before we look to the future, let's take a trip down memory lane, Billy. I believe you have something prepared for us boomers over here. So I'm gonna go join the boomers.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come and join the boomers.
You're always welcome here.
I love this.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to play a little game called Pick the Kit. Essentially, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys jerseys from the past kind of 5 years that we've had in Valorant. However, the logo on the jersey is going to be blurred, so you're going to have to guess the organization and what year it's from. Kukuga, you have a question?
Yeah, I have a question. Is it going to have player faces as well?
No, we'll blur that. We'll blur that.
okay.
We're not giving you any clues.
That makes it more
We're not giving you any
complicated. It's just colors.
So we'll do a quick test around so that you guys can, you know, get the feel of it.
Okay.
And of course for chat to play along at home as well. So let's throw up the very first one just as a quick test.
Oh.
I think that was Sue first.
I have this jersey and I have this jacket, and that is Defo. And oh, is that Chronicle? But it's definitely Defo. This is Gambit 2021, Masters Berlin, and Champs Berlin. Oh, I was right.
Very well done.
I stalk these
You
people.
don't have to guess the player, but honestly, Valorant historian over here.
Yeah, and I believe that. Yeah, and I think I can even tell you what month. But yeah, carry on. Sorry.
Okay, yeah, I should have said as
Yeah.
well at the beginning, you need to be fast on those buzzers. Because
Okay.
you're all competing
I was
against
quite
each
fast,
other.
I thought.
I don't know how we're gonna
Where did you learn that?
total up the points, but it's fine. We can go with it.
All right.
Okay, let's run the next one then. We're playing for points now.
Oh my god! I cannot believe. I will.
Can we we say
Okay.
it on 3?
But-
wait,
okay.
wait, hold on. The team first, then the event, okay?
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Giant X lock-in.
It was
Why
still
is it-
Giants, no? It was not
Yeah,
Giant
but
X
why
yet.
is it
was
not
Giants.
nuclear? This is a crime.
I cannot believe we did not take the picture of
This is a crime that you didn't show nuclear, you showed
Billy, I am
cloud.
disappointed in you for this.
Sorry,
one. I
Petra, for
expected
that. This is our Roman
I have
Empire.
fast reflexes, but I don't know the answers.
Okay, let's go.
I'm gonna let you, Petra, take
yeah,
the
yeah,
next
yeah.
one.
Let Petra have a chance here.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
let's go
thank
for
you
the
so
next one. Give me the next one, guys.
Oh, my fingers.
I think I know
Go.
this.
Yeah.
Is this Koi?
It looks like Koi this
answer.
year. I will give you that.
Okay, you can go because I know this.
Can I
Yeah,
go?
yeah, I know this.
Sorry. Is this? I might get this wrong, but was this like it for Tokyo Fnatic?
Yes.
I would never guess that.
It was.
Yeah.
I mean, I absolutely love
I was gonna
that
say,
event.
I was gonna say
Oh,
Leo. Yeah, I recognize Leo's head. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
miss Leo.
We missed Leo. Okay, and you guessed the year as well, right?
Tokyo, so
Yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
2023.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Cool. Right, let's bring the next one up then.
I'm remembering much better than I thought I would. Oh my God! You want to do it?
Sorry.
Okay.
I mean, are we gonna back-to-back Leo? Back-to-back Leo is kind of iconic.
We have to.
Yeah, this is Leo on Haven for some reason. On Guild. And fun fact, yeah, we were researching this yesterday, but you know, Safe has made 3 different global events on 3 different
different
teams,
rosters.
which is crazy. Could have been Magnum. Could have been Magnum. Sorry.
And we
Yeah.
still have the year,
This is 20.
unless anyone wants to buzz if they know straight away.
Is this 21 or 22?
21, I'd say 21.
No, 22 was black. 21.
21.
22 was black. 22 was
It's
black.
21. It was 21.
Yeah, 22 was black and it had a
21.
red star.
It was 21.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, okay, let's do one more. One more. Roll us the last one.
Leo again?
Oh, I know this
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Do you know this one?
No, I
Yeah,
don't
this is
know
a
this
nice
one.
one. This is Anti-Captain.
Yeah?
I heard the whoop.
Yeah, I just want to hear it again. This is Foot, right? And I think that this was for Shanghai last year.
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys are good at this.
I'll give you
You
the
guys are
play.
good at
I'll give you the
this.
jersey,
Do we have
yeah.
time for one more? I feel like we have time for one more if we keep it fast. I feel like Petra's going to get this last one.
All right, Petra,
You have to,
okay.
Petra.
I'm tired. I'm
This
not-
one's
I'm
on
not
Petra,
pressed.
okay?
Petra is, Petra. You got this.
Yes.
Is that Roxy?
It's
Yeah, it's
Oh, it's
Roxy.
Roxy. I thought it was Smurf for a second.
Ooh.
So it's 20.
Oh my.
Spidoka.
It's not Roxy.
Spidoka.
We were wrong. We were all wrong.
Yeah. 23?
Apologies.
I believe this is...
Yeah, 23?
Yeah,
23,
23.
yeah.
It's there. Okay.
Not
Not
bad, not bad.
I don't
Nice.
know however many points you guys got, but
It was
I
a
think
joint
thanks
effort.
for playing.
It was
Thanks
a
for
joint
playing.
effort. We all win. We all win. However, there can only be one winner when it comes to the game today. They don't have to. They cannot be working together. They're in fact working against each other. And to quote one of the greatest poets of our time, I think I've seen this film before. But Kukuka, did we like this ending last time of Liquid 3-0?
Yeah, it was too quick, right? And it was also a run that Team Liquid had everybody in love with and everybody very surprised to what the extent that they could do. On the other side, we saw Heretics that could not find themselves, had forgotten who they are, but we thought they were looking quite differently until yesterday when they lost against Fnatic.
Yeah, and when it comes to a rematch, Petra, there is this kind of a curse people talk about. You know, the team that lost the first time always win the second time. Do you believe in that in this situation, that Heretics should be able to take down Liquid today?
I think it's gonna be a tough match. I do believe it's possible, and if they play like they used to play in the mid-tournament, then it should be all right. It's gonna be tough though.
Yeah, it's going to be very tough considering Billy Heretics didn't lose a single game until yesterday.
Yeah, until they faced Fnatic. Yeah, I think that they need to be able to bounce back though, right? And that's something that we've seen from these boys time and time again, is the fact that they're able to bounce back. They have so many amazing players on their team. So yeah, I think going into this one, and especially when we look at last time they were in this lower final against Team Liquid, it was a sore loss. It was a quick one. It was a very speedy one. And I think the kind of tone that was set was when we went into that Lotus map. And the composition that Team Liquid came out with, the Reyna, the Raze and everything, yeah, I think if they're going to start out this one, they need to get off to a good start.
maybe we're going to see some surprises. What you're seeing right now, and what I was referencing before, is this run that Team Liquid had during kickoff. Of course, you see the winner being Vitality there, but they made it to the grand final. Although, I will say, I like the other storyline better, you know? Like, Team Heretics lost yesterday to Fnatic. Yes, they won against them during the regular season, but is the second part. And I think that I like, one, the difficulty that they're going to find today, because of all those wins and how flawless Team Heretics was looking, they were still playing on that week-to-week basis. Yes, they made it to playoffs, but it was like one game. You wait until the next one. But now that they're in the lower, they're going to have to go do those back-to-backs.
Got nothing to do with the fact they're a Spanish org, right? Zero.
Nothing.
Absolutely zero. But the best of 5 record is not looking good for Heretics. I think they have a lot of trauma, a lot of demons when it comes to best of 5. And don't get me started with grand finals, because at this point, Petra, they should be making grand finals. That's a bare minimum, right? If you're a team, you don't lose the whole split, you beat everybody dominantly, and then it comes to a best of 5. It's just sad.
It's gonna be very painful.
Yeah, but surely they got to get over their demon at some point, right? Because
they have to.
Yeah, but that's why when you lose, you learn from it.
Yeah, absolutely. And they've been here before, so let's do it this time.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, looking at this. Oh, no, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. I just came into work. Don't do this to me. But I mean, as Petra said, they don't have a choice, because if they don't win today in this best of 5, their EMEA season will end. They will be going to Toronto, but you want to be going to Toronto as a first seed if you're Team Heretics.
It's good that they get the experience of losing. I think that is something that when the stakes are not that high, when you
experience losing via best
but I
of
mean,
5,
you know,
though.
this is the bounce back that we've been seeing through this stage 1 and what they can do now. Yes, I think that for most of the region, we would have liked to see a team that could dominate everything and just be the clear favorite. But I also like this learning path.
Yeah, true. But I want them to get over their demons. Like, win a trophy before you go to Toronto. Then I feel a little bit happier.
Very good for your confidence.
Yeah, and speaking of confidence, though, Billy, you know, we praise Nats for being the player, the leader that he is. But this, you know, we wanted to revisit this moment with Kiko yesterday, because you don't see this version of Nats very often.
This interaction was something that we were all kind of keeping a keen eye on. We were like, oh my goodness, like what is being said? Because of course, this was after that first map that they played, right? And Kiko, he didn't have the kind of performance that we would expect from him on that first map. So I don't know if this is like an angry interaction or if this is like a hyping him up, like trying to get him motivated, knowing that Kiko was going to be moving on to the duelist onto that second map.
You should hope is the second one. Whatever it is, it works.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that Nats has been very wise with his words. We've been highlighting him a lot, and I think that this probably is just another instance of get your confidence back. Look at what you can do when you do this and this. I also think that with the amount of experience that he has, I don't think that he will be going at him
never.
at the end of a match.
As an IGL, you can never do that. No.
Yeah, he's probably giving some wise words. And we have a super rookie, which is really funny to say that the super rookie is not on the side of Heretics all of a sudden. But Petra, so important that Syria also has his confidence too.
Yeah. It took a little bit to get back yesterday, but he has it now, so he's probably gonna play better today, right?
Yeah, I think that especially the deeper that match was going up yesterday, also taking like, you know, the lose in the second map, losing split for Team Liquid and whatnot, you need to think of his performance, how he was getting stronger and stronger and getting more and more important, especially in those clutch situations.
Yeah, the stat Andy's definitely loved that one, I think, when he was doing well. But this isn't just any rematch. It's one loaded with revenge and redemption. Team Liquid and Heretics meet again in the lower bracket finals, and it's time to send it down to the stage and see who will be joining Fnatic in the grand finals tomorrow.
Check my pedigree, I got legacy in my pop. You playing hopscotch, I'm at top notch on the block. Should've been slide like me, nah. Spice it up with a sauce. Yeah, my lord said don't do it, I said
from Nats many times in the past. He likes being in this position. He loves the challenge and he wants this lower bracket run. But Team Heretics is going to be a big challenge for them today. It will be a best of 5, which means both teams will have 1 ban and 0 surprises so far.
Yeah, but Team Heretics banning that fracture after what we've seen both from Liquid and from them. And for the first time this entire stage, Team Liquid, yes, they did ban the Pro, but they did not pick the split. It's actually going to be the decider. This is looking pretty good for Heretics, because if I was Team Liquid, I probably would have gone for that Lotus on my first pick.
Yeah, I have to agree, right? It's weird that they've kind of waited to have like Lotus and Split. They're two strongest
And if I go another day without watching the freaking Team Liquid Lotus, like I need someone, like yesterday they were shut down on Split, I need to see them shut down in Lotus.
Well, this is the thing, maybe they're scared of picking into that Split because they just got completely antied against BBL yesterday.
Yeah, and I'm a little bit worried about this Haven, because Liquid, they brought us a comp that was designed to counter the ISO Yoru comp. It worked a treat yesterday. Heretics, they have to be prepared for this. They have to know that this is something Liquid are probably not going to change overnight, considering they also run something similar to that. But yeah, not having the split, maybe a little bit of, you know, mind games there perhaps. I would love to get to know their thoughts maybe after the game, but that really surprised me.
Yeah, you need to think, right? The back-to-back games, Heretics is a very strong team with a very smart staff that is going to be on top of everything. Probably one of the reasons why they decided to go for the Haven. A map that has been flawless for them this stage, and that if they have that show in and maybe they know something that we do not know about the double Sentinel that they can go up against.
The thing is, as well, you say that about Team Liquid, but they've changed their comp the 3 times that they have played this map, this stage. So I'm wondering, have they prepared something specifically for today?
At the same time, when it gets a little bit later, things are going to get good for Liquid, but let's take a look at the agent select. There's no surprises. Petra, after seeing what they brought yesterday, what do Heretics have to be mindful of? Because this comp is not easy to play against Liquid.
Yeah, I hope they figured it out yesterday. They could see their weakness from Liquid, so I hope they're working around it and yeah, have a good adaptation.
For me, just break the deadlock stuff. Just break it.
Yeah,
goodness sake.
Find Nats and do not go there. The setups that he had yesterday on C were disgusting. Yes, he is nuts. He's insanely good. To me, also another one of the points, Miniboo, we saw him being shut down by Fnatic time and time again. Now that they're starting on the attack, I hope that he really gets that confidence right from the get-go.
Yeah, let's see they're not falling in a trap on long this time.
No, I have to agree. I think something that I want to see from Team Liquid starting on this defense, though, is alternating that Sentinel utility, because a lot of the time yesterday, they were getting caught out in Garage. It was constantly Serial being caught out there. They were having to adjust by bringing Kiko over to kind of play off the Paranoia flash. So yeah, I'm intrigued to see if they figured out those kind of Sentinel setups on their defense this time around.
Yeah, and you got to feel pretty confident right out the gate as well, because Liquid, they've been on a win streak, and that kind of momentum, Petra, it does help when you get to the lower bracket.
Yeah, it's very strong, but I think Heretics has, like Kakuka said, they have a good team behind them, and yeah, they will figure it out.
And do not forget, also, we see Patty Tay going up against Heretics. That I think it tells itself.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what goes on the server. And I can't wait for you guys to find out who's casting today, because it's their last time casting in EMEA this split. Can't wait to hear it. Have a good one, boys, and take it away.
Thank you very much,
No pressure.
Yitsu. No pressure at all. A BO5 in front of us. 2 incredibly talented teams, and matching up in the lower bracket final feels like deja vu.
Yeah, no, why? It literally is, and now they're looking to take a shot at a different king this time. Vitality were sat there waiting in that upper bracket final last time around. This time, it is going to be Fnatic, and one of them will get a second chance of being able to take them down and fight for that trophy. The fact is, though, I think it's going to be a different story to last time around. A quick 3-0. Team Liquid were in flying form, and although that form is still there, Heretics throughout this stage have really built on that momentum. Sure, it took a blip versus the same team that defeated Liquid, but I do think that, especially kicking things off on Haven, this is where they've done their best work.
Well, that's really the question coming into this, right? Was yesterday a blip? Was that Fnatic on playoff form? Or were Heretics looking a little weaker as the tournament went on? This is the challenge that they faltered at last time. The 3-0, as you said, Tom, Team Liquid took it with flying colors. But now, a new challenge, a new day. Let's see if Heretics are up to this challenge. Already, you're going to see some aggression. The shield popped on ISO, and the control taken, but it's this middle battle for Serial. Looking to find that opening pick. The flash is good, and the pick goes to Heretics.
That's the exact start that they were looking for. Panitek quick to respond, though. Putting things back into an even scenario. The retakes maybe not being the best for Liquid, but The fact is, already a man to the good. They're in a good position here, and Camo strikes, leaving just one standing, but that one is Miniboo. He's been having an insane tournament, even spots out the last man, but that last man is Nat. Maybe one of the few that could match him, but with an open plant, he will reposition back towards middle.
He goes for the full wraparound. He might not have time. Already put under pressure by that clock. The tap from Nats has to confirm that it's not being diffused. There it is! Nats falling victim, the fourth for Miniboo. He might have been quieter yesterday, but a Red Bull clutch to kick off this BO5.
This is why I always want to see the Heretics squad pick this map of Haven. I feel like it gives them that momentum boost at the start of every single series. They've been playing it throughout the entirety of the tournament, and for Miniboo, you mentioned it. I don't even think he had a poor performance. He had probably his worst performance we've seen the entire stage. He has been the highest ACS player all the way through stage 1, and yesterday he was missing. Well, today, he's already pulled off an absurd clutch, and we are 1 round in.
Great signs of what's to come. Now, Team Liquid might be one of the strongest teams when it comes to those anti-ecos, and they've even invested in themselves here, given an opportunity to take it across the line with 3 Sheriffs in play. So definitely somewhere that they need to be careful, but touching on the veto, Tom, Ascent up next, definitely a map that looks stronger for Liquid. You look at that defensive side, and it's going to be a lot for Heretics to break through. So I really agree with you. This is somewhere that we need to see Heretics have that strong start if they're going to have that heartbeat in the series, because the next, I have a little bit of doubt about how competitive it will be.
I am surprised we didn't see Liquid pick Split, though. I feel like although they've had a few blips there, that was kind of where I thought their strength truly would lie, and they lost to, I think, some very good anti the last couple of times it was played. I think Ascent, when you have that double duelist again, like we've seen Woot picking up the Operator, I don't know. I think there's still opportunities on that next one, but I do see what you mean. This is where we truly have those expectations. And while that 1-2 punch, we've seen the 1 in the last round, this is the second.
Team Heretics, an easy opportunity most of the time. Like we said, Team Liquid, they present dangers, but a lot of this danger was towards A, was that short double stack up where they looked to pick them apart as Team Heretics split the control. But the C long push, the opening pick for them as well, and now a safe post plant, that's a lot of the danger averted. Those pistols now have to push into you. By the looks of things, well, Nats is obviously waiting for a lurk, waiting for someone to come peeking around, but they'll just be playing the exits here, not throwing themselves at the round to try to win it, but still trying to make it costly a little bit later.
Worst case, you go down to the spike, stop some of those high-impact ultimates from coming online, and well, Benji's going to be the one hunting down the kills. Maybe not the person I'd be expecting to go forward with the Marshal, but at this stage it was all about getting out of there, and the remaining 2 will just go down to that spike. Heretics keep it clean enough, and will now look to try and see what they can do here versus the full buy of Liquid.
As we said, for Team Liquid, that attempt to take weapons out of hands doesn't really go according to plan. Team Heretics avoid most of the danger, so a solid start to this map. Round 3, though, where we see those rifles come into play on both sides. A couple of weaknesses for Team Heretics, but due to how they bought up, they're still in good form. And that Marshal, we've seen it do a ton of damage in these round 3s before, so no comfort for Team Liquid. No easy round to be offered up. I like the double stack up early on A-Long, but, well, Heretics have already seen it.
Yeah, I think what you always have to be careful of in lower buy rounds like this is how explosive this composition can be from Heretics. You're coming up with the ISO that obviously gives you that first ability to take a shot without going down, and then Miniboo can just take himself across the map in a matter of seconds, so they have to be very aware. It's where I think this double Sentinel will definitely help them out, and I'm looking at the C site right now. There is an abundance of utility ready to try and slow this push.
Yeah, Liquid usually very good at those round 2s. Heretics very good at the round 3s as well. So one of the best in the league as well. See if it adds up to success with the punchy comp showing its face towards C. We've seen rotations, but that's because of this position from Camo. He's up in short, and although Woot's being dropped, the push is coming towards Camo. He'll have to do well to grab the information and get out, and look at that. Doesn't overstay his welcome, spots a few and backs off, ready for the fight with his teammates.
This gives that extra little bit of support. Here. The backup ready in position. Paranoia even there to slow them down, and the second Paranoia has actually been dodge. I think Camo pulled a pistol out. That's a bit of a blip. In fact, a massive blip with one coming up. Panattack might just be there to save the day, though. Benji so low on HP, but he still wins the fight, and Boo comes up with another, leaving only Serial remaining. He had so many fantastic clutches in the match yesterday and already kicks this one off with a bang, leaving him facing off against Benji on the other side. 21 HP, but the time on his side.
Slowly ticking away, a patient player. Like you said, that one bullet needed to take him down. Serial has to make the right call, though. Spotting out that angle, and he's seen him now, but Benji's hot on the trigger. A third kill for him, and a third round for Team Heretics. It's always the danger, even with those weaknesses. They've got the rifles, and that punchy play works out, but I'm so confused about what we saw here. Camo takes a pistol out, and, well, he's caught unaware.
I want to say that was like a fat finger or something. Like
yeah,
it just slipped and just accidentally brought the pistol out, because it doesn't really make any sense in that scenario. I also want to mention round 1 and round 3 are now clutches that have been won by a player with barely any HP left. Like, that has got to weigh on your mind a little bit if you're over on that Liquid side, because you are in a position where these rounds are very much winnable. There's opportunities for, well, very good opportunities for you to take them over the line. And it's clutched out by one of the players over on that Heretic side.
Not quite sure what we're seeing on the server there, Tom. That number on the top hasn't moved for a minute.
It didn't go red.
It did not yet. Not yet.
It hasn't gone red.
Any moment now, Tom. I do agree with you, though. Like you said, seeing the fact that two big clutches, two low
a little
HP
bit of red,
clutches.
and I really don't like it.
Yeah, we've got Sentinels fans in for the lower final. That's quite a journey, I'd imagine. But yeah, it's going to weigh on your mental. If you're Team Liquid, having those rounds slip out of your grasp like that, this could very easily be them with a commanding lead early on. This is a map that they want to compete on early. Hell, if you want to shut this series down, get that 3-0 that you had last time, good start on this map will certainly help out. Doesn't look like they're destined for that just yet. One thing to keep an eye on as the game goes on, though, is a man like Nats, someone that was able to turn the tide of a lot of the rounds the last time they faced. I think he was 9-1 in opening duels as a Sentinel. When they came towards him, or when they left that space behind, he was capitalizing on it every time. And it was Benji having a tough time staying alive into those late rounds. And that gap of utility, we even saw it yesterday, cost them a lot when it came to Icebox. No doubt those are two things that Heretics will be looking to remedy coming into today. The elbow shown, and Outlaw more than enough to take you down.
Yeah, I think to touch on what you were saying about Nats, I think we're seeing him in some of the best form in a while. Like, I think the switch up to IGL did take a little bit of toll, but I think you can see that the comfort's now there, just in terms of him not only being a leader, but then also being able to be one of the best, if not the best anchor we have in the entirety of the league right now. He has had some absurd performances. This round would probably have to be the best of them. The full force of Team Heretics. Only a pistol, and his teammates not particularly close.
No, and they're clearing him too. They know all of his little tricks. They know you got to clear those corners.
I don't think they know all of his little tricks.
All of them? No. No. They
That's
know the
a
ones,
bold claim.
They know the ones that he showed last time. They won't be falling for them again. A 4-0 start seems destined now for Team Heretics. Team Liquid sending up that early play by Patatek, but Benji is watching it like a hawk. Even had backup from Woot, leaving Camo all alone, 1v5. And the question of damage, a valid one to ask, but the economy so stacked up in the attacker's favor already that, I mean, it's almost a necessity that a couple of those weapons are dropped, or you were going to find it very hard to break the bank of Team Heretics.
Well, this is the problem. It's not only a map that they thrive at, but it really does seem like the second that momentum gets going, they're almost impossible to stop. Like, you're talking about them slamming teams like Fnatic 13-5 on this map. They stole their comp. Like, that was literally the good. They went, you've got a great idea, we're going to take that and 13-5 you with it. Like, do you know how absurd that is to be able to do, to improve on what already seemed to be an incredibly good composition? Then you throw in momentum with these players that we know have some of the highest peak in individual brilliance. It really is a terrifying prospect, and we're already 4 rounds in, it seems like we are going to get a tactical pause from Liquid, and I don't mind it. Like, you've now got a good buy. This is where you're coming in with an ult or two to play with, or at least some getting close by. And what you've lost to so far,
keep it up.
I don't think has been like, you've lost 2 rounds where you were eco and 2 rounds where it came down to 1v1s. Like, it could be a very different story, but you now need to step into things.
100%. Yeah, that 4-0 start, as we said, the moneymaker round that you just saw, it's going to leave Heretics with a lot of bank to fall back on. You talk about ults, but favored for the attacking side. Also having Yoru's ultimate. No doubt Minibu's going to want to deploy that. He is on form right now, 7-2. He'll be back on before too long. And he's going to be using that to clear out a lot of space. For Liquid, they need a response to this early performance. And I mean, not a lot of teams have had it. Like you said, there's been great performances from Heretics. It's what, a 4-win streak now when it comes to Haven. Sure, there's a lot of tape, but it's difficult to match pound for pound with what's on the server today.
Also, the tape for half the teams is just them getting blasted. Yeah. It's like, right, so if Woot runs at you and insta-headshots, you don't let that happen. Like, it's very difficult to counter a composition that, at its core, is fairly basic, but the intricacies of how they use it is what makes it more complex. And a lot of the other times as well, when, as you said, when those ult come online, you can have Minibu take space and then Woot take the player. So it ruins any setup, any ideas that you have. So it really is complex to play against. And although I really do like the amount of deadlock we're seeing from Serial, I want to see if this works for them, because already is exactly what we're talking about. Just mass amounts of space, all the sensors being set up as he runs through them with no effect. That's the whole setup gone.
It is. Both sensors have been tripped. A site's been taken. Response, though, from Patatek. He's going to force the fight. Camo's the one to win it. Caught, though, by the ultimate on the other side. Woots pulled him into a battle,
okay.
But one that he will not win. Camo's got another. And the A site now fully retaken. 4 players on the site. 1 in spawn. That leaves a gap. And one that Benji has slipped his way into. But cutting off these rotations, if they go through B, will be easy. If they take it through spawn, there's still a full setup on the C site awaiting them, and a massive man advantage for Team Liquid.
This is such a ratty position. It seems like they're well aware of the potential of someone flanking in towards the back of the A side, but it's more so once that spike goes down, are they going to be ready to try and clear him? Cam's still online. So whenever Nats decides, he will get that extra little bit of information. Unfortunately, although the plant will garner an ult, I don't know the From the Shadows is going to be the difference maker here.
This is the way you expect to see the rotations from Team Liquid all the way through spawn. 5 players is what we needed, because going through B, it's too much space that they've given up. Nats was even watching for that walk through B to spawn this whole round, essentially. Now playing for the retake. The paranoia already in. Reveal is good. Camo still manages to win the fight. Through the cage, he's dropped Rien's. And a 4v2 that they're now left in. Patatek isolated in the spawn, but the spike being defused, they've got to get a move on, and right into the waiting arms of Serial and Kiko as the defuse comes full circle. A huge round for Camo. Gets 1 on the board for Team Liquid.
He had some unbelievable rounds in their matchup yesterday. An ace even to close it. It seemed like there was no one in the server that could match up to his individual brilliance. And while going toe-to-toe with Woot when he has a shield online, pretty much says all you need to know. A 3K to get him on and up to the top of the board. And after using a couple of ultimates there, just to try and get in on that early execution into the A side, once that failed, it definitely became a lot tougher for Heretics. They're not shying away, though, and neither is Camo. Tries to go for that early fight, but it is only going to be the 1-for-1. That is, however, the smoke's gone for the side of Heretics.
Yeah, that's a big spanner in the works for the attacking side to work with now. What a set of rounds from Camo. High-impact trade early on, but that last round, even caught by the ISO ult, and able to take down Woot. Well, you talk about how difficult it can be to deal with him when he's coming in popping heads, but it wasn't to be seen in the previous. Information off the Cypher ultimate. Team Heretics now know what they're up against. They see these players on site, but they're not deterred. Ultimate pop by Serial. He's going to be suppressed. Can't get that ult popped, and Benji's in with a double. The A site is theirs. Great reaction by Woot, completely denying the what seemed to be safe play for Team Liquid and leaving them with a disadvantage on the retake.
No impact from that annihilation. If it connects, that could have been a true difference maker, and Nat's trying to peek into the dog pick. I don't even think he saw anything before his head was ripped clean off. Nice shot from Kiko. Actually hits the dink onto Riyadh as well. Still as crispy as ever. But it's Heretics to respond, and it's once again another high impact play from Benji. He's another that I think coming into the later stages of Split 1 has been a true force to be reckoned with. Again, didn't have the best of times, thinking back to Icebox yesterday, the counter, just to take him out of position, but already in this map, 9 and 2, Miniball alongside him, 8 and 4. They're having a cracking start to this map.
And wonderful reaction by Woot, though. Suppressing Serial when the ultimate is popped. That's got to be frustrating. It would have been a free pick. Otherwise, Camo, he's up very close indeed. Blocked in the smoke by Boo. You can't pull that trick on this man. From the shadows, he's found a pick. Pistols for the majority of Team Liquid in this round. That was the one real hope that they had. And now that weapon is down on short in the open and irretrievable.
It's always interesting to see how teams will sort of order the maps in a best of 5. Of course, you guarantee that 3 will be played, so sometimes if you have that first choice, you're going to put your best map in the 3rd slot, so even if the first couple haven't gone the right way. I definitely like this choice from Heretics. We've said it before that it seems like even maps where they are considerably unfavored on, if they dominate the first, sometimes they'll just run it down on the series. Really nice net coming through from Serial, but it will only be good for the one.
Last player standing.
While Boot just cleaning up house, only Nats remaining.
30 seconds
and it's Nats,
left.
so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. They might be able to get one here, but anything else I think would have to be a miracle.
I like the fact that Miniboo's already dead, but he comes in and shoots the decoy. Just seeing that he's being caught by the net. Bit of a reaction diff. Team Heretics, 6 rounds locked in indeed. You say you'll give him one, but I think Nats has the classic up top. They'll punish if they go aggressive, or he'll try to. I think the spike is ultimately what's gonna take him down. Woot's going walkabouts. He's taking a risk here. That rifle could be finding its way into Nats' hands if he was in a different position, but caught up in heaven. There will be no choice.
But it's also just the economic damage isn't that high. He's already got his ultimate. So for Nats in this scenario, just not giving them the orb, not giving Woot the opportunity to get that kill contract online ready for the fight, it's worth it. Like, because the thing with the kill contract that makes it such a valuable ultimate, sure, you get an advantageous 1v1, but that's not the main thing. If you have these site anchors, which you look at Liquid's comp, they've got 2 players that pretty much sit within that bracket of if you can take out Nats, if you can take out Serial, a lot of the delay disappears. Even if they're removed from their setup for a few seconds, that can be enough for the rest of the team to counter. So you do not want that ultimate coming online all too often. For Liquid, there's already going to be another pause. 6-1 down, map slipping away from them, and while getting back into this, even when switching over to that attack, I don't think it's going to be easy for them whatsoever.
I mean, the fact that both pauses are already burned up, you can see the stress eating away at them early on. Especially when you know that coming into this attack side for Team Heretics, seeing them this hot off the bat, knowing that they can get that momentum up, your Ascent could be under threat. You're going to be facing off against a squad with full confidence right now. It's Benji Fishy, a player who was pretty much destroyed the last time that these teams were facing, whether it came to early or late duels. He was not having a wonderful time. And now he's leading the charge on the server, not just 9 and 2, not just chipping away, but 2 big 3Ks that secured rounds that were otherwise up for grabs in the other direction. And having heroes like that online early, having Miniboo activated as well, it's a good sign for Heretics how this BO5 is going to swing.
I think the stats speak for themselves as well. 71.2% round win rate on Haven. So not only are they dominantly winning series, but they're just not losing too many rounds while they do it globally. Talking about the best team. That's why they wanted to start here. Get things rolling as quickly as possible. Already Going to see that Hunter's Fury utilized by Rians, looking to try and garner the team extra space, but nothing really being found. In fact, from Liquid, it's incredibly passive, knowing that they have the availability of this ult in the retake, as they now look to try and get space off it, and Camo is there once again.
And emerges from the old victorious Miniboo. Good flash as well. Stops that left side peak, as does the suppress going through. They've picked up the advantage back in their favor. They've got their back secured, and Numbers looking down on mid. It's going to be difficult to get that defuse tapped already by Team Liquid just to get the utility out. But there's more on its way. A reveal in the smoke, and now comfortable that there's no defuse happening. Team Heretics aren't panicking, but Liquid are, as another round falls into their opponent's hands with relative ease. And we've seen before, the stat popped up, the retakes for Team Liquid. I think what we saw earlier was their first successful retake when it came to Haven. And this one, well, it's just another defeat.
Yeah, well, I guess you look back to their previous Haven. They had a 9-3 attack side in the second half, and it was a 5-round streak to close out the map. So I guess they just didn't have a very good defense overall. But yeah, still a somewhat absurd stat to try and deal with.
12.
I am actually quite surprised, though, that how quickly they sort of give up on this one. I think just there was still plenty of time for them to challenge. I think just realizing that with the amount of spams that were coming through, they were never going to be able to get that defusal over the line, and wanting to make sure they at least have something to play within this round. But that was probably one of the closer we've seen in the last few. They've been incredibly clean.
My ult is ready.
From Heretics. And while now coming in with weaker weapons, you're talking about hero plays again, which have all been on the other side.
Exactly, yeah. The big clutches, the 4K pistol, the 3Ks by Benji.
I guess Camo had one.
He did. He had a good round. They haven't given him the rifle, so no respect for him. It's Kiko and Nats to pick those up. Camo is set up alongside Nats on B. It's going to be a mid-crunch. Already seeing that contact outside of B. Nats with the double. The response clear, resounding for Heretics. They put some players in the dirt. The rifle recovered, and instant death for Serial as he touches it. Another 3-piece for Benji. Make that 4. This guy is on fire today. An 8-1 for Team Heretics. Look, the next map looks better for Liquid, but if it keeps up like this, Tom, even they'll have doubts.
It genuinely feels like a lifetime ago that there were conversations about this guy coming in at the end of 2023 as a clout pickup. That was where we were. We were looking at the tier 2 squads. He grinded through, and even still when he came to Heretics, they went, he's got a lot of followers though, innit? That's the reason he's picked up now. Currently sits 13-3 in this server, having to been to a Champions final, a Masters final. He's been doing all right for himself, and as of right now, it seems like Liquid have absolutely no answer. Camo has been the one tiny bit of hope.
They found my wire.
The back of Benji's head, he knows that those opening duels didn't go so well for him last time. He avoids the fight with Camo. Keeps the information, rotates around. A site already taken, but Nats has managed to find himself an angle around that smoke. A double pickup already. The spam almost takes Boo, and Serial finishes him off. Another hero play needed. Miniboo on the site, damn close to it. A 3-piece that leaves the 1v1. The ult doesn't land, and Benji has the ball. The shot connected. Team Heretics have it all. Miniboo's on fire. Benji's clutching out rounds, and what hope is left for Team Liquid?
All I'm going to say is everybody's going to be stealing Benji Fishy's aim training routine after this one. That was just so clean with the final shot. Even managing to dodge the ultimate just seconds before that annihilation. Well, the only player annihilated at the end of the round was Serial. Gotta be nice to have him on your team. Well, Rian, someone we've talked about so much, hyped up so much, as one of the best players within the whole region, if not the best. He's currently in the backpack, 3 and 4, hasn't had much to do. He'll set up a dart or 2, and now Boo joins the party. This is a slaughter.
Even more so, it's not just the kills that come in here, it's the read from Team Heretics. They're going to make a play. They're going to try to get aggressive with those weaker buys. Let's just pump the brakes, spread the net. They've got players watching everything. They've got Woot able to rotate between helping C-Long or helping the double doors, and he wasn't needed on C-Long with Boo just cleaning it up like that. You talk about Benji as well. This is a guy, sure, you could look at Clout pick up early on, but he did his time in the Tier 2. He was playing on Enterprise for a long time when he probably could have just slotted himself in.
Those people were wrong.
Yes, without a doubt. Ain't nobody thinking they were right. Boo with another, man, a 5v2. This round is looking signed, sealed, and delivered into Team Heretics. Double digits. Almost without a doubt on the board, a big clutch needed, and there's just nothing going their way. You call out Rienz, and he steps up to the plate. A home run for Heretics. 1 round left to compete for. 1 round on the board for Team Liquid.
Yeah, and in zone flawless, and Rienz has got at least a pinky toe out of the backpack. He's still firmly within it, but 10-1. I want to call back to kickoff, where we even heard in the video from Mixwell, the team didn't feel like they'd fully recovered off the back of what happened at Champions, a tough loss. In that kickoff lower bracket final, they lost map 1 13-4, map 2 13-4, map 3 13-7. It's already looking like a very different story, even if by some miracle Liquid managed to turn this map. They've already got more rounds than they did in the first 2, and well, Woot's already got that opening pick onto Nats. The wraparound is solid though, really good adaptation from Liquid.
That's what we needed to see. Okay, a 4 versus 3, another pickup as well with Kiko closing up that back, making it through the window and leaving Benji with a very impressive clutch if he managed it. Finally, Team Liquid put another round on the board right as the final bell tolls on the half. 10-2 though, it doesn't seem like it'll be enough.
Yeah, there's going to have to be a serious swing if there's going to be any chance for Liquid to be able to turn this back in half number 2. Otherwise, it seems like Heretics are running away with Haven. We'll find out after the break.
Well, it has been a dominant start from Team Heretics. Already almost as many rounds as last time they faced in a BO5. And for Team Liquid, off to a slow start. Who knows what Ascent will hold, but for now, we have to finish off Haven. For Heretics, they just got to tap it in. A pistol round here could swing this into an almost unrecoverable position for that attacking side now of Team Liquid. We know they can be good on the attack, but they've got to be, I was going to say great, they've got to be flawless.
They almost managed it yesterday, 9-3. It was a really impressive comeback by that attack side. The problem is, Heretics in this sort of form have been a different beast to play against. Miniboo's going to be under some serious pressure and will be dealt a death blow, but already look at the response. The defense looking to wrap round from behind. It's going to come down to the 1v1. The Cypher on either side, the IGL of Nats, and while Benji Fishy, who's been in the finest of form so far this map, will have to face off. He might just slip the net. The Cam is holding on the corner. He's been spotted, but already manages to deal so much damage on towards Nats. Will get away with destroying his sneaky little bit of util, and who would have guessed him? Is that another clutch for Benji Fishy?
Unreal. And especially when you look at these two players in particular, Nats and Benji, last time they faced, it was a different story. Nats was diffing him individually, and now The Wonder Kids come through with another big round, but it's Boo we have to look at here. How he gets 3. Nats was waiting inside that smoke. This should never have been a 1v1.
My
but
classic
he
don't
manages
work like that.
to pick them all up and again.
Nat's aim is here, bro. It's fine.
And it's just another free
All I'm gonna
marketing
say-
campaign for the Heretics Classic.
Don't let Nat see that before map number 2. Or if you're a Liquid fan, do let Nat see that before map number 2, and he'll come back with a vengeance. The man who's been around the block and is still in his early 20s. Mini boot under pressure, but you'll never believe it. A clean shot onto Camo. And this is a buy, just so you know. Liquid have invested into this round. They've got the stingers. Maybe trying to take a leaf out of BBL's book, but already a man down.
Who's on his way up here? He's going to see that trap and try to make a pass. There's a judge in front of Nats. It's a tough fight for Nats, but one that he wins. Boo on the other side, though, has dropped that A defender. Now opening up a little avenue for himself, but he's flanked out by Nats again. A second pick for the Cypher. Serial takes inspiration. Doubles up on that fight and leaves Benji alone. Another clutch needed for Benji Fishy. I believe it would be another 3K as well. Time ticking, and the force buy of Team Liquid seems to have found success. Kiko's already been rooted. Great bait by Benji! Time is gone, but still an unbelievable attempt. You win the round, but you've got to feel like Heretics are the ones walking out with a smile on their face, seeing this form for Benji Fishy, 18-4.
You're right, it is a Liquid win. And credit has to be given to the likes of Serial and Nats and just the sheer amount of time that ended up being bought, but I don't know how he manages to get those remaining kills. 18-4. But that was a lifeline. That was the small amount of hope that's been given. Liquid will be able to come in with a purchase, and on the other side, sure, there's still a few pieces. That Outlaw definitely dangerous here, and just like the last round, Camo is dead within seconds.
Opening pick, one of the 2 weapons in play for Heretics. That Bulldog recovered by the 3-piece. The economic damage done keeps some of Heretics modest. They've seen Benji, but now he's being spotted in the corner. It's a fight against Nats when the cage falls. Never mind! He's taken him down before! And now there's a couple upgrades. Well, for Team Liquid, I suppose, but also for Heretics when this rotation comes through. A 5 versus 3 in a round where they far outgunned their opponents. But no more.
They've walked into the 2 weapons. That's sort of the curse of Liquid in this round, is that the pieces they had to watch out for have been the pieces that they met for Woot and Riens. And Boo at that, there is very little to play with. And a post plant here could be the thing that undoes all of those vulnerabilities. Boo
30 seconds left.
just waiting in case they try and go back towards the other side. He's heard the plant, has the paranoia, but is completely sectioned off from the rest of the team, at least for now.
It's gonna be a while before he can break through that. Got the numbers to work with. Or he's TP'd. They've heard that. They know he's close. The ult is gonna be popped by Serial as well, and he's caught him. That's 1 player down. Oh, but they've not caught Woot! He walked straight through the smoke that was thrown out just before that sees. Gives them a real chance with Patatek all alone on the backside, and he's spotted out by Mini Boo. A 3-piece for him. Another big individual round for Team Heretics. They are looking by far to be the better team, at least here on Haven. 12-3, so many chances to close this out. And Team Liquid, well, they better have a lot of hope built up by that Ascent play this season, because the Haven ain't going anywhere near their favor.
Yeah, that's the problem. They now come into this round with severe limitations on the credits. They got to make decisions of where they want to try and take this, and ideally, I think B would be the best. But think about that last round, you got picked off immediately by Miniboo. Still some hope in the crowd that there will be a response in this map, but they would need a streak even better than what they managed versus BBL. And while, let's be real, This Heretic squad have been a different beast. Nats trying to slip the net, but no sneaky play to be had, and instead they're walking into the Lion's Den. They may know where that Lion is, but dealing with him has been a different story. A quick double already for Benji. And while Padatek has been able to survive, but they could not deal with the beast at the back of C. It is a 13-3 decimation of Liquid. One better than what happened in kickoff.
We said Miniboo activated, but Benji Fishy, the man of the hour, unbelievable performance. Feels like we couldn't go 2 or 3 rounds without a 3-piece pickup by that man. Heretics looking dominant on map number 1. We'll find out if this series spells disaster for Team Liquid after the break.
Hold on. Okay, remember, Heretics. And then what? Fnatic. What is this aim? What the f did you eat? Okay, look. Benji Fishy aim is here. Yeah? Nat's aim is here, bro.
I love you, Adas. Nice, thank you, guys.
Red Bull gives you wings.
I wanna be a hero 自分を信じろ誰かのために心をたぎらせろ You know 困難な道を行く俺はヒーローどんな奴が来ても Take over game over あることない戦いを戦列に身を任せ運命は絡み合う限界の向こう側へと明日の勝者はどっちだお前は悪か正義か決めるのは真の勝者だ
What a stellar start from Benji Fishy and his 4 mates on the server there against Team Liquid. I'm your host and I'm back here with Petra and Billy. You know, we set this up as the redemption, the revenge and so on and so forth. Billy, I think Heretics might be a bit mad after yesterday. That was a slaughter.
I think they know as well that they need to get off to a good start, right? We were speaking about that before we went into it. They need to be able to get the momentum on their side. And oh my goodness, that was domination from them.
Yeah, Petra, it just never stopped. Once they started winning, that was it.
Yeah, I think Miniboo had a great start and it has a lot of a great impact on them. So yeah, good confidence, good domination, and I like that he started with abusing A and switched around.
Oh yeah, you love that. You love that. Now, I feel a bit bad for saying Benji and mates because, you know, Miniboo did all right as well. Rians didn't need to do anything. You know, he just had to be there because everyone else was just cleaning up. But let's talk about Benji the Fish, because before yesterday, he was rightfully the player that led EMEA #1 in pretty much every stat that mattered. He was on top. And when you have a player like this, Petra, it's just impossible to stop Heretics from winning.
Yeah, it makes everything easier, right? His lurks are perfect. When there's one down on the team, he joins the team and he's shooting hard on...
Oh, you lost your mind with that clutch.
Yeah, it is so clean. Look at his aim. Like, he is not missing anything. Even through the walls, he's hitting them.
Yeah, he's looking crispy today. Genuinely he is. I mean, he went plus 17 alone in that map, which is absolutely insane. And I think it's like you say, right, the value of the lurks and timings that he's able to get, which is insane when he's going up against someone like Nats, who's known for his lurks.
Yeah.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because the way the Rians was like, Nats' aim is down here, Benji, you're up there. The disrespect. And that's what we want to see. We want to see them get fired up. There's a spot in the grand finals here up for grabs. And Petra, you mentioned Miniboo. So tell me what you noticed that is a little bit different from him today compared to yesterday.
Well, first of all, he didn't got shot through all the smokes and all the abilities. And I think it's a very big difference when he has a good start, like I said earlier. It's bringing a lot to the team. And yeah, I think they're very dominant on their calls, and he's like, the go with it, Miniboo go, and also on the anti-ecos he was searching with his Marshall, and yeah.
They're very reliant on him sometimes, right? Billy, they need him to go in and actually just be the tip of that spear.
I think something that I was keeping an eye on throughout this match was the amount of kills that he was getting and what kind of like weapons he was using, like you say, Petra. Like, he was using the Outlaw, he was using the Marshall, he used that half of the rounds that he ended up playing, which is insane when you actually have a look at those stats to figure out that actually half of that has come from sniper usage. So yeah, I think he had a great performance, and to that point too, I think that like there's so many players on this Team Heretics sides that they can rely on in those moments, which is what makes them such a great team, right? They have people they can rely on when they need it.
Yeah, and he's such an emotional player too. We know how hard he is on himself sometimes. So the confidence is back. He's looking great on the server. But the question is, can Team Heretics do it on Ascent? And Ascent for me is such a weird map for Heretics, you know? I can't tell if they like it or they don't like it, why they like it or not like it. This is like one of life's greatest mysteries, because they perma-banned it for God knows how long, and then they decided not to perma-ban it. And then Billy, I think they picked it one time. It's just all over the shop.
It's a little bit all over the place, right? And I think that, I mean, one of the times that we saw them play it was that loss to Apex at the very start of this stage, but they fixed it for playoffs, right? They managed to beat BBL on it the other day, but it's actually the starting sides that I'm looking at. So of course, because Team Liquid decided to pick this map, it means that Team Heretics, they're like, okay, well, we're just going to start on the defense, which I think is a great decision, right? We look at their attack win round percentage is sitting at 39% for Heretics, which is not great. We look at Team Liquid's defense win round percentage, it's 90%. That's insane.
Do you know what that tells me? That tells me Heretics are not going to run that Yoru Jet comp if they want to start on the defense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense if you start on defense, right? It's going to be very hard.
But let's talk about this comp from Liquid, because Petra, they're going to bring out the Cypher Deadlock possibly again. Tell me what that's like on Ascent. How strong is the double Senti on Ascent?
I mean, strong on defense. It could be strong on attack, depends how you're gonna use your initiator as well. But yeah, let's see. I guess they're used to playing double Senti, so probably works for them.
They love that stuff. Now, one thing that I think they don't really do with their double Senti is they don't really stack the Cypher Deadlock, right? We see them kind of separate them a lot. I want to see them do some, give the cheese more cheese. Because if you're going to bring the cheese, you know, it better be some good cheese. I don't want to see that mozzarella, that basic stuff. Give me some like actual cheese. But that's the other thing. There's a lot of tape on what Liquid like to do on this Ascent, and knowing that Heretics probably doesn't bring the double duelist again, what can they realistically bring that's going to be good against this double Senti? What are some of your favorites, Petra? What do you think?
Well, I guess if you want to break the util, then maybe they should add Dejo.
Oh yeah.
That's a good thought. I mean, I know that they were playing the Waylay previously. It's just whether or not they want to go down that route again, right? I think Miniboo didn't look so confident on it. It's as if he didn't have enough time to actually get the reps in on playing the Waylay. But I think he's in such a good headspace right now that if he wanted to dive in on that Waylay, like, I wouldn't be annoyed if they decided to go back to that route.
I quite like the KO as well. They have a KO option.
Yeah, good one.
Yeah, but it's always been a bit weird with KO on this team because you had Vut in the past saying he doesn't like learning lineups, he doesn't remember lineups, so then Boo has to play the KO, and then you know the knock-on effect of that is a bit weird. But I like the Tejo shout as Rian stares into my souls. What am I thinking, Rians? What am I thinking? I mean, I'm always...
He's telling us he's not playing Tejo, I think.
Do you reckon he's trying to communicate that to us? I mean, he could play anything, right? He's the kind of player that... It's very similar to Leo, where if he plays the Sova, happy days, it's going to be a great day on the server. At this point, if Rians wants to come and play Julius, that's cool as well. He's Turkish. Like, I would back him for that. You know, am I ever going to doubt him? Yeah, in this space. But one thing with Team Heretics is they played a lot of best of fives. They've lost a lot of best of fives, and they've won a lot of map ones. 6 times in those best of fives they won map 1, but ended up then going on to lose the entire series. But they baited us. They completely baited us. They will play the double duelers. And Petra, is it a mistake to start on defense with this comp, you think?
I don't know, it depends what they prepared, I guess. They probably did prepare, otherwise they're not gonna play double duelists, but it's gonna be rough.
I think they've probably, yeah, like you say, prepared heavily for starting on this defensive side. They know that this is a strong map for TL. They know that Team Liquid have been leaning into that double sentinel. So I'm expecting them to try and get as many rounds as they can on the defense. And I'm expecting to see a lot of set things that they've got coming into this. Yeah, I'm wondering if they just decided to start the defense because they know Team Liquid's defensive side is so strong.
Yeah, I think they need to be very proactive on the defense that they make out this comp.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a risk as well, especially considering we are in a best of 5, one that Heretics have historically not had the greatest record on, but they are 1-0 up right now. It could potentially be a long day, who knows? Mitch and Tom, enjoy.
Well, all records out the window when it comes to this series. We talked a big deal about Nats and how he'd be heating up, and a lot of that was looking at the success against Benji. Last time, over 85% of the duels he took, he won against that man. I don't know what the stats were for last map, but I bet they're not quite as impressive. That was unbelievable. But now we're on to Team Liquid's pick, and somewhere that they look a lot stronger.
Yeah, for sure. I think the good thing with this squad is I feel like they definitely have the ability to reset themselves. Like, I think that they've got experienced players like Panitek, who's obviously been on the other side, has been part of that Heretics core, and will know that maybe that might have been their strongest map, but a best of 5, it's going to be a long series, there's going to be back and forths, and in reality, that first map becomes a distant memory if you're able to get a response early in the series. So I don't think they're going to be beating themselves too much about that one. You knew there was a vulnerability. It was that, or it was playing the Pearl. You probably weren't going to win either. Move on, get into your map choice.
Here it is, the pistol round playing out before our eyes, and a lot of aggression from this defensive side. They've got the Yoru and the Jet pushed down on mid. A late play coming out from Kiko. Might be too late to catch them. No, it's gone down.
Already 3 coming up for the attack. Very clean start to this take, ready for the flank to come in behind them, but Boo is still lurking, still waiting around. Rian's currently blocked out by the barrier. Well, getting anything from this point onwards is going to be difficult. Talk about the difficulties at time of that double sentinel when it's on the attack, but once you get into defensive positions, that's when it really has its value. Those post plants can be filthy. And well, at this stage for Rians, it's all about just finding some extra orbs, getting a few extra credits while you do it, and maybe even earning some style points. You really just don't want to be walking into this guy's crosshair. I think he has some of the highest headshot percentage of anybody you'll see, and has had a little bit of a warm-up at the end of a Team Liquid round.
Yeah, there's something about Team Heretics in this series when it comes to those multi-kills. They are taking them in droves so far. I thought that could have been too late, but of course Woot was shift walking to try to make it around to main.
But it's going to be funny because if you're like a scoreboard warrior, you're going to look at that and go, Koreans get 4 kills in the pistol round, they still don't win it. Like, what were the rest of the guys doing? But you can see the Liquid side are not phased by this. I think Panitech, we heard the value from Heretics when he was on that squad of a guy like him in these scenarios, keeping the vibes positive, getting everybody pumped up. You know that map loss, although it was rough, it was quick and something easy to get over. And it doesn't look like they're phased at all. Even think back to them losing their map choice yesterday on Split to BBL. They got completely countered. They go into the next map. It's like it never happened. I think it came up with Camo getting aces throughout that map, so.
Bold play. A bold play indeed. Although he was going to be pushed from every angle.
Also has the weakest weapon.
Exactly. And you talk about not being phased by that opening round. I mean, of all the rounds to lose practically all your players, that is the one, right? In the pistol, you're still going to come in on and not losing that much. A round like this, it would be a different story altogether. They're being contained on that attacking side. Rien's Sheriff in hand. A 4-piece here would traumatize the Team Liquid side. He's only good for 1. Boo up top. They're already spamming it. Now they've seen him. Now they know he shouldn't be getting anything done. Spike's coming for him, and he will go down to it. Only 2 players drop Team Liquid. That's a little bit of a better round for them. Bringing forward the 2 decent rifles with Spectre into this coming round.
Yeah, I guess when you have a buy on every player, that's a bit more damage than you would have liked, and it does mean that your bonus round is going to be a bit weaker than you'd like. And well, you can see the stats in terms of bonus rounds. I think it does come down to that investment. Like, a lot of teams are going for the sort of 2, 3 rifles, 2 pistols, so that then you can purchase back up with 5 rifles. It will overinflate the amount of quote-unquote bonus rounds that we have, because a lot of teams aren't playing them as bonus rounds. Also means you're more likely to lose them, but that's a different story altogether. Liquid have been playing it safe, but it does mean these bonus rounds are a lot weaker than other teams.
Here.
Oh, maybe not.
Happier to play for the long game normally, but the opening pick looks very good indeed. One of the rifles, the main one, the Vandal, finding exactly what it needs. The shot landing for Camo again. The third, not quite there, but Serial picks it up anyways, and what should have been a relatively convincing round, one that Liquid don't usually have a lot to say in, one that Liquid come in with a massive disadvantage in terms of weaponry. This is looking like somewhere they'll find a lot of success. Benji, he's being flanked up on, but it's all about timing for Panitech. He can play this super slow, use the salvos to try to lock in the round, and that might be the best play. Playing the numbers, playing the time, but now he's got it! Oh, it's perfect for Panitech! A 3-round start for Team Liquid. Weapons carried forward as well. This is exactly what they needed to get right back on the horse.
Yeah, starting things off with Camo being that entry point. It was again mentioned on the desk, the difficulties of this double senti. You don't really have a whole lot of information other than Serial's kit, and then what you can find with that solo drone. So you're even more reliant
Heretics killer
on that attack side from Camo.
Let's go.
You need him to be hitting his shots. Obviously, a lot of the time you're going to see poor stats on attack side Jets on this map because you're diving into choke points, diving into players waiting for you. But he found the important kill of the round, and while Nat's now buying up the sniper on the other side,
I know exactly
his aim was compared to Benji in the last map. As said, we'll see if that's something that they live to regret.
Nice shot by Panitech. A second on the follow-up, and the A side is theirs. Yeah, I think in that replay there, it was a little quiet, but I might have heard him say Heretic skill. Maybe someone did show him that clip. And if they did, that's a big mistake for Team Heretics. Getting too confident too early, perhaps. Team Liquid, 4-0 start. Seems locked in.
The thing is with Nats as well, you know he doesn't get angry. It's more like, he's like the sort of guy who goes, I'm not angry, I'm disappointed. And then we'll just rip them a new one on this next map. So I'll definitely be scared. Looking like a 4-0 start. Similarly to what we saw in that last map, just running away with it on the attack side. And we know how devastating this defensive side composition can end up for that side of Liquid. Just ask BBL. Now, they managed 0 rounds on their attack side when facing off against this comp.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say, right? It was a 13-4 map. BBL with very little to say when it came to Ascent when these two teams faced, and
But yeah, and a 12-0 defensive half. Let's add that bit in for context as well.
Starting half. So a 4-0 start for Team Liquid. Well, that seems to be a couple nails in the coffin already for Heretics.
Maybe they're just lowering it. It's a bit early. It's a bit early.
I think you put the nails in before you lower it, though.
No, I throw them in.
Oh yeah, well, you got those biceps.
Yeah.
My bad. Some of us can't quite make
That's
that
why
work.
I can't do lineups, because they just...
I always said Bullseye was your favorite hero. I understand now. More of a villain, but I suppose depends how you look at it. You've got the head for it.
It is.
I got to see that cosplay, Tom.
Yeah,
Pull it
I
out.
think I also have the head for Hitman, but that's not the point. Operator in play. Woot ready to go, but he's just been wrecked. That was a drive-by by Serial. And although the opening pick had already gone the way of Miniboo, and of course it was Camo to be dropped, you look at the ultimates that are available. The Armageddon, Annihilation, 2 high-impact damage-dealing ults of very different degrees. There's not a lot of good places to stand if you're on the Heretic side.
A couple good rounds now. Looks like we're seeing Serial in full scrim form. Oh, what a dodge! Barely avoiding that Annihilation. Hunter's Fury sent through as well. Defenders trying to slow down this push, but Liquid still get the space. They take down Miniboo. They catch Boo coming out of the smoke. Serial with another. And now this round seemingly locked in! Oh, nuts! I don't know what's happened between the last map and this, but he is locked in, just like the 5th round in a row for Team Liquid.
I feel like Rian's gonna start looking around like, who told him? Who was it? Who told him? Because it has looked like a different beast already. 7 and 3. Yeah, I saw that in the moment. I was like, that looked filthy. And it was, okay, both the Serials kills. It is the Sentinels leading the way at the moment. Sure, Panitek's only died once. And yeah, the stat to back up what I was mentioning earlier, Liquid, 75% post-plant win rate on Ascent. And it is just, look at the comp. You get into post-plant with this comp, you have to first get past the sensors, or the trips, depending which way round, and then you have to look for the other. And that's all while remembering that the guy on the site is probably Nats, or Camo, Kiko, or Serial. You know, there's a lot of good players. Panitek's all right as well.
I was going to say, yeah, Paddy's just getting thrown out to the wolves, man.
Hey, he's the man with the salvos. He's, if anything, the scariest one in the post.
If anything, he should be on the site. Exactly. Yeah. He should be off the site.
Yes, I thought of that.
Yes. Very nice angle, Tom. 5-0 start. Team Liquid, whether it's drawing energy from the crowd, who didn't give up on them. Even when it came down to the final round of that previous map, they were behind. Team Liquid all the way, and now the reward, a 5-0 start, domination, all those factors we talked about. Miniboo being activated on Haven. He hasn't been here, but the op was shut down early. Benji not having that same level of success, and that would require him 3K clutching out several rounds in a row. But still, those things are not online right now. Team Liquid have put a stop to it.
We have to say as well that you remove that additional initiator from a composition like this that you might normally have while running a Yoru, that double duelist has to be popping, and both of them are currently bottom and second bottom on the board. Like, that's the only way this composition works, is of individual brilliance is there to take you through the round, and I think the operator was a huge part of that on the defensive side. Bear in mind it was a 9-3 defensive half when they play versus BBL. It's not even remotely possible anymore.
Nice shot by Miniboo. Road to recovery, perhaps? A second! Just as I claim, he's not online. He's been brought back into the fray. And Team Liquid now with a 2-man disadvantage. Still, though, weaponry looking very good for them. Abandoning this position, though, will give the chance for some of those defenders to recover those rifles. Well, perhaps not. 4 players on A, and Liquid are walking into it.
Yeah, Miniboo was sort of the ruse. He was just meant to hold the line a little bit for the rest of the team, and while Nats has tried to be cheeky and been met with a paranoia, they haven't baited out the one thing that is on the other side, and that's the utility, alongside a little bit of help from Rienz, or maybe he'll just do everything on his own. They finally got around. It's a pay save card. Thrifty that will get Heretics onto the board.
What a considerate play by Boo. You know, he comes into that fight, sure, he could just take the kill. So many players would, Top, but he realizes, Riens, you need the orbs. I don't. I'll distract him. I'll shoot above him, so he's forced to fight me, and you can have the orb. That's the kind of guy you want on your team, leading by example.
What I love from our replay team as well.
What's that?
They wanted to make sure that we finally saw Clove today, because we won't be seeing them in the server. But don't worry, they're in the crowd.
Get out of my way!
5-1. A nice round by Heretics, but is it repeatable? Will Team Liquid fall into that trap again? It was a two-piece by Miniboo and then a push into the stack. Little mistake by Nats, rushing out of his cage while still nearsighted.
I love that. Boo is trying to destroy the util. It's just still sitting there. It hasn't gone anywhere. The paranoia was correct. Execution, not so much now. Miniboo is in an incredibly aggressive position. He, as of right now, I was going to say doesn't have a way out, but he's waiting for the drone. And will be forced out? No, he didn't take the TP.
An audacious play. Overstays is welcome. 2 players on site. They haven't been spotted. Never mind. Boo's dealt with. They don't expect the second. Riens gets the jump on the first, but he's dealt with quickly by the flood of attacking players. And the op sounds out. Team Liquid know what they're against. There shouldn't be free opportunities given to them once that smoke fades, and more importantly, that op shouldn't be committed. At 2 versus 4, you need mistakes to be made on the other side, and the risk you take in trying to force those will cripple your economy coming into the next, especially with 150 left on Woot. There's no choice but to save these weapons to the next round, and that's Team Liquid. A bump in the road in the previous, but they're right back to winning ways.
Yeah, I think I understand that when you are, again, we spoke about it earlier, the risks that have to be taken with this sort of composition when you're running a double duelist on defense, you need some of that individual flair, but I don't know if maybe someone destroyed his TP, like as he put it down, because they were around the corner pretty quick, or obviously being suppressed as well, denied him from being able to use it. I didn't catch it in the moment. I definitely saw he got paranoia, but whatever it was, it meant that Miniboo wasn't able to leave.
Cutting through.
Does he get hit by, maybe it's the drone? Ah, yeah, he just whiffed. They just whiffed the drone, and that stops him being able to TP. Yeah. That is rough. Just that little bit of a whiff was enough for him to get taken out by the drone, and that was basically the round falling apart because they gambled on his aggressive position and didn't have anyone else able to get in until we saw that TP, but by that point, look how far Camo had already gone.
Small mistake, but a big cost to be paid. Now, they expected it last time. Do they expect it again? Riens through the cage has got a double. Nats is staring down that corner. He knows, but he can't deal with Miniboo. And Riens, an in-zone flawless as Team Liquid attempt to pressure the same mistake that they forced out in the previous, but drastically different result this time.
I mentioned in the last map, it seemed like Riens was in the Dora Explorer backpack. He has definitely got out of it, and if anything, put the rest of the team in the backpack of his own. I believe he currently has the same amount of kills as the rest of the team combined, which is definitely not a good sign for the side of Heretics. But in that round, it's at least something. Solid individual performance from him, bringing in that Hunter's Fury once more. But you can see the immediate response is bit more of a pace change, a quick take into middle, and with already the net catching onto one. Who's got to be careful, but he wins the fight.
A bit more passive with the operator this time.
Revealing area.
Gets his reward for his trouble. A lot of space taken, but it's aware on Team Heretics. They were watching it the whole time. Woot picking off Kiko. Miniboo wrapping around as they're worried about the op. Misses his shot, and that's okay. Back out of that position, uses util to reclaim some space, and now Woot goes walkabouts, goes looking for the pick, but it's Serial to find it in response. Another for Serial as he's stepping up, but needs an ace to close this round out, suspecting another player on site will give him an opportunity. For now, it's passive play from Team Heretics. Oh, never mind. He's isolated one. He's through the door for another. And now, just one away from the ace.
That's Annihilation online as well. He has the sensors available. Every single piece of the kit is available. For Serial on bench, he can't really do anything without giving his position away. He's hoping to maybe try and catch him out. But I like this reposition from Serial, realizing that he's going to expect the... Oh, no! No, he spawned it out! I thought he was just going to hold on to it, but has tried to fire it directly at his opponent. Oh, we almost just saw one of the greatest clips ever, and it is going to be clipped, but not for the right reasons.
He's been annihilated himself. Oh, that's tough. Everything set up perfectly. The wall up top for the info too. Every piece of this puzzle put together perfectly.
End the clip here. End the clip. End the clip. End the clip.
Beautifully isolates every battle. This ult almost creates a target for Benji to fire back on. Yes! You can see the changing of the tides there. They see the ult online and they know this round he has to break the wall too. It's over.
It takes the ult as well. That's the worst thing. He didn't even get to use it. But it counts.
Of course, exactly.
And the worst thing is he has his gun there. He's played it perfectly. 100% he wins.
He stays under and pops the ult. It's running out and at the same time.
That's the bit that confuses me is that, yeah, he puts himself in a position that you think, okay, he's never going to use the ult there because it's such a weird spot to try and bounce it from. Like, if you go back to main, you go back to the door, there's so many sort of lineups that work, whereas that, it's a gamble no matter what. Him swinging and just shooting him, that makes a lot of sense. You knew where he was going. But yeah, unfortunately, it's a round they never should have had. It was him almost winning it individually. It just didn't end the way you wanted it to.
This is the form that we were looking for from Serial coming into the league. What we heard about him in the background. He's a strong individual player, someone that many have questioned whether he could do down on that stage. Well, here today, where are you? He's off to a flying start.
I felt like Nats has more phantom kills than most people have kills, but there we go. Immediate TP towards the spawn. They found a gap that's not really being battled for, and it leaves a couple to try and hold this alone. Rians, with a little bit of help, has managed to find two, in fact, with the Hunter's Fury. And well, after getting that round over the line, that one, blink and you miss it.
This is dangerous, Tom. This is dangerous. Now we're starting to see Heretics activated again. Now we're starting to see them snowball, chain together 3 rounds in a row. After a 5-0 start, a near flawless performance from Team Liquid and almost a clutch from Serial. How close they've come. But think back to Haven. Some rounds were close. Some rounds looked like they could go on the board, but the difference was those individuals. And if they now start to step up, if we see a 6-6 half, sure, Team Liquid are great on the defense, but they just experienced a spanking on map number 1. We may well see that same form from Heretics. Right here. Regardless of the map.
I think that's the talking point. It's like, if they come into this map and come out with a 6-6, absolutely fine. But it's the manner in which it's happening. They're starting to get slammed. Quick push in. Nice work from Serial again. It doesn't seem like he's let that moment get to him whatsoever, having a fantastic individual game. And already Miniboo is going to put things back in their favor. Serial and Nats, the double Senti need to hold the line, and Nats looking to try and wrap round from behind. It seems though that Miniboo is well aware, even expected him to be in this corner. And now for the remaining 2, they could try and bait him in. The problem is this is not planted in a position that Nats could really do anything about, and Miniboo even repositioned to the rest of his team. Great round from Heretics, and another to the streak.
And starting to put together the game plan of Team Liquid, getting ahead of that fight, coming out of the smokes. It looked for a minute a bit silly. Boo, he's crouched down, he's caught by the net, and Riens sits inside a smoke. But of course, you're worried about something from Team Liquid, about them flashing out normally, but with this composition, not too much of a worry. That allows them to find a couple of kills, chain them together. But from that point, there is a clear read on how Team Liquid are going to approach it. They know Nats is playing late. They know he's coming up behind. And Miniboo was staring at that the whole time, waiting to pop that flash to punish.
They're going to try and go for it again. I like it. Maybe trying to catch them off guard a little bit with the aggression. Boo, though, it's the same result. Spam through the smoke. Does still get caught by the net, but a completely different position. It's being spammed by Paditek, and Riens has gone down. Woot is going to only be able to find one, and now his position's about to be revealed, and while he's pulling out the pin, he will lose his life.
Yeah, great ult that forced him to avoid that snake in the grass play. Now an opportunity for the plant. The post plant looking strong. The ult online for Serial. You probably won't see him swinging out wide with it this time. Playing nice and safe down below. Nats covering him. And Patatek in main waiting for salvos to come online. There it is. They just came on. So everything for Team Liquid to close this one out. The information sure will come through and the ult will be popped. Opportunity to use it as well. He's looking in the right direction. Oh, but he's caught with it in hand again! And now, Nats goes down! Patatek desperately looking to put salvos into play, but it's already going to be halved. They've got time on their side if they can force this peak, and it will be forced soon. Miniboo, the bodyguard, the man he has to get through, and Patatek does it! Just about finding the Red Bull clutch and the lead at the halftime.
Yeah, they needed a safe pair of hands, and it's Patatek versus his old roster to at least give them the lead at the half, but it should have been so much more. A decent resurgence coming out from the side of Heretics, but they're going to need a bit more in that second half. We'll see if they can do it after the break.
You're done.
Welcome back. 2 rounds in it. It was looking like a dominant map for Team Liquid, but there's still some fight in Heretics here on Ascend. After a 13-3 opening map, we know what happens when Heretics get the ball rolling, but now, Tom, they face Team Liquid's defensive side here on Ascend, a side that has been enough to crumble even the best of teams. Will their form found in the last couple be enough to carry them through it?
90%. Well, the stats tell you no. They really are filthy, and I think especially with the double duelist, trying to dive through these setups are going to be so difficult. Well, this time they're not diving through anything. It's an aggressive pistol round start from the defensive side of Liquid, not shying away from a fight. You have to be careful, though. A couple of players tagged up at least a little bit, and the kills quickly going back the way of Heretics. Benji and Woot somehow turning this just to one man. But that one man is Nats. He knows exactly where they are, but might just miss the boat on the timing.
Just about. They've slipped into main. Still a trap covering that cross. Will be broken soon, and Nats will know exactly what's going down. But in not too long, Benji's going to have that cam back. And with that available for the post plant, they can play Boathouse. They can just run down that clock and force Nats into a 1v2 fight. Both players 50 HP. And a Sheriff recovered. The body shots, all that he needs, but he's got to be quick against Woot and Benji Fishy, a man who had so many 3Ks I lost count in the previous map.
The cam is going to give it away. Second he makes this cross, Benji will have the information. He even has the tag, and they peek it together. What a resurgence from the side of Heretics around that looked dead to rights until that smiley duo of Benji and Woot have turned that pistol. And to be honest, I think they need it. This composition from Liquid on the defensive side is incredibly tough to play against. It's almost reductive in what you're able to do. Like if you're a Jet and you try and dash in, maybe you're met by a trip, maybe you're met by a sensor. Either way, it's difficult. Then you try and take space and it can leave Miniboo in positions where he's teleported into a site and there's a wall in the way. It really is tough to try and find gaps in this defensive side. And a pistol at least gives them that little bit of an extra boost.
And you can understand the logic to Team Liquid still taking those fights. They can reset into a 2-2 setup or having someone passive on a site, allow a post plant, and have to fight into it. Give numbers. Oh, Riens! It's an anti-eco, but an ace is an ace, and Orbs in his back pocket. That's a hell of a start. The Guardian just shredding through those unarmored opponents. My goodness.
He's just farming, like 4 exit kills and an ace and an eco. The man is just getting as many orbs as he possibly can. Well, yeah, you mentioned he's now 2 away from having that Hunter's Fury already. Incredibly clean start to the second half, but this is where things should get a little bit more difficult. But again, I mentioned it in the first half, the fact that you'll see Liquid with a lot of lighter buys. Well, this is 4 rifles and a sniper and a very quick attempt. The dart is perfect. It gives Woot that opener.
Woot was dead to rights there with the salvos hunting him down either way. Wanted the pick for his trouble, but won't find it. A big play from Team Heretics. Riens with an ace versus the anti-eco, but now it's the rifles they play against. The A pressure, the pick there too, has found a big rotation. And only now do you see Patatek come back to clear mid. 1 spotted, and a second suspected. The B site under pressure. Patatek
wait a moment.
Almost taken out. And there are weaknesses to this buy for Heretics, but the numbers are the main disadvantage now. A 2 versus 4 that they're left in, and a great read by Liquid. They are all over this.
Yeah, quick response. Nats not being over aggressive, just making sure that he can hold that line, and Benji is all that stands between them and reclaiming their lead. They're actually happy for him to have the site. Not something they're particularly bothered about. And while he's trying to get there as quietly as possible, but the only real thing he's hoping for is a gap.
30 seconds
he has found a massive gap, potentially. 1 down, the second not quite going his way. He's brought Nats low, but that could have been a difference maker. Just trying to find any space that he humanly can. In fact, they are all looking the other direction. And now another one for Benji. He seems to make every single of these rounds so desperately close. And yet, considering that's a bonus, it could have easily been 4, 5 players left standing. Well, all that's left is 1.
Hell, if Benji didn't see that player in market, he has the freest picks of his life. That could have been a 3K spray down into spawn. What a recovery. And again, one of the factors that we looked at is, oh, well, he hasn't been online quite as much. Well, here in this half, he certainly has been. That's the lead for Team Liquid, 8-7, but they were up against a light buy. And they struggle, they stumble, and it's this man to make them crumble in that round. Luckily, they recover just in time. Their economy takes a big hit, and a loss here could give Heretics the lead in the next.
3 sets of light shields. Boo. I think considering shooting his own dart. There is not. That's over on the other side, so it's not something he has to worry about too much, but maybe getting lost in the moment. The defense reaggressing into middle. There are a fair few pieces missing in this round, and this Outlaw is as deadly as ever. They're going to go swinging into it, and those are just easy picks for Miniboo. That's the damage that Benji caused in the last round. They couldn't afford those heavier shields, and while those are the freest kills he might get all day.
That guy deserves an assist for that up on the scoreboard. He's not going to find it, though.
It's not enough.
He'll be, he has, hasn't he? On 12-6 at the moment. He'll be happy enough if they win this round. Damage done, and he's dealt with in the end. The spams through the wall from all those players on top mid. Now with 5 versus 2. It seems like the hard work's being done. It's a formality
left.
to attempt to close this out. The cage saw nothing. Little does Nats know that there's a player just around the corner. Boo won't quite catch him. Players on site may well do. 1 for Nats.
Careful.
Much more needed and found. He's down to 17 HP. The space has been claimed for the plant. Wow. Close.
Really don't want to give this man anything. Cam still set up for the corner. Boo sectioned off. Trying to get information to that back site. But they are now just looking to lock in. Ultimate for Ians, but probably not going to be utilized in this scenario. And now the gap's been found by Kiko, but this leaves Nats still desperately low. They made this one costly, or more so he has. But anything more from here should be an impossibility, and Rians make sure of it. The safest pair of hands you could hope for right at the top of the board in terms of clutch statistics, but that won't add to them.
No, it won't. He still had a buddy helping him out. But with the late mid play was a thorn in the back.
2 and 10 right now. It's over.
What an unbelievable reveal, and thank you so much for popping that in the replay. There was no need. An otherwise very impressive round from Rians as he picks up that 3-piece and a round for the side of Heretics. You have to question Serial going back out. You hear the bang of the Outlaw. You know you've got low shields. You say, I'm going to swing and trade you. Well, there are 2 barrels to that sniper rifle.
Yeah.
And it fires quite quickly indeed.
Hey, he's been hitting headies. I appreciate the confidence, but that confidence may end up being their undoing. Right now, it's been a very aggressive defensive side. We talked about how difficult it can be to walk into these sort of defensive crossfires. Well, so far, I don't think they've really been challenged to do so. A lot of it has been Liquid trying to get up in their face, pressure them, and that's exactly what they're doing now. In this sort of round, it's kind of expected with the weaknesses, the vulnerabilities of Rians. He's eco-farming again.
If Rians was a little bit further forward, if he doesn't react as quickly as he does to that paranoia, this round was in a lot of trouble. The pressure put on B, so many players rotated in there for Team Liquid, and those pistols coming around would have been upgraded quite quickly indeed, but nothing goes the way of Team Liquid beyond that first pick. And 9 rounds now on the board. As expected, Team Liquid have been able to find themselves a couple rounds in that first half. We thought it would be enough to close out, but 1 out of 5 so far.
One more kill. He has double anyone else in the whole server.
1 enemy remaining.
Yep.
We're going into round 18. Like, it's genuinely, like, sure.
This looks like a ranked game, that you see those kind of 25 and 10 is a ranked scoreline.
Rians. As I said, he didn't have much to do in map number 1, kind of along for the ride, but on this map, Liquid's choice, one where they were definitely favored. Well, Camo's at least going to kick things off, but the response, even while into a smoke, dashing away, Miniboo is quick enough. It is Benji down. There's a good player to take out, but at the loss of Camo. But again, it's an aggressive stance. That's his sort of role within this. The rest of the team, you expect to have that util, that delay. And with the ultimates that they have available to them, it kind of needs to be a Liquid round. Otherwise, it does feel like Heretics have almost just got this in the bag.
Well, Heretics already scoring, double the rounds on the attack than every other game for Team Liquid on this 2 other games combined. This has been an impressive display from this attacking side. A big push by Miniboo. But Kiko manages to slip out of his grasp. That's not quite so lucky as Wu takes him down, and the quick trade as Miniboo eventually finishes off his dinner. A 2 versus 2 we're left in. A plant needed by Heretics. Hunter's Fury from Rian's already used, but to be honest, him being alive is enough for me to believe. Nice shot.
Surprised we don't see. Okay, Annihilation used a little bit later. He's almost using it just to try and target players, and he has caught one, and will get the second as well. It's finally worked out for Serial. That ult has felt like his undoing the entirety of this map thus far, but it's put into play, and he will do the rest. 9-9, scoreline equalized, and Liquid looking to build.
I was certain we were going to see Rian's just one tap as soon as that ult was popped.
Especially because he seems to be allergic to bouncing it,
yeah.
Which is the weird thing. You know the guy's planting, you know roughly where he's doing it, but yeah, he just wants to like shoot it. He's using it as like a showstopper. It's a very weird way to do it. Of course, for Woot, that is his 1,000th kill in the VCT, which when you consider how late he actually joined even for this team, that is absurd. Like, he literally, it wasn't even there at the beginning because of how things were going.
Well, that's Woot hitting his 1,000 kill mark as a DRX attempt. Big push coming through from Team Liquid. Benji's waiting for it. He's already caught 2 on the main push. Is he ready for Camo? He will be if the ult gives him info in time. There is the info. But Camo's moved quickly. Still, enough of a distraction caused on that side that now A is not quite wide open. In fact, the ult is going to stop the further aggression. It's going to cause problems for the player now stuck on site. Never mind. Woot is quick on the trigger, leaving Camo to do it all. He's already picked off 2. And Ace, the entirety of Team Heretics have to fall in his hands, or double digits will be found by Heretics. And this attack side win streak will continue.
His first battle was with the window.
Spike planted.
The rest might be a little bit tougher. 3 to find, and they're just not going to give him anything. A peek here would be an unnecessary risk that you just don't expect to see from players of their caliber, and you could witness that he had to make a move, had to make a play. The back and forth continues. The problem, though, is that this back and forth hasn't really been doing much damage to the side of Heretics. Their economy still in a good spot, and their ultimates almost getting back online rather than dissipating. And for the other side of things, well, they invested a Blade Storm, they invested Armageddon into this one, and they get nothing for both.
Really well played by Banshee as well, being able to contain that push coming towards him from 2 different angles. A Blade Storm even thrown at him. An ult that would be very much appreciated by Team Liquid in a round like this. 10-9, the biggest challenge that Team Liquid have seen on their defensive side by an order of magnitude. And now they come into this having lost 5 of the 7 rounds we've seen played out with a timeout. They'll be going into an eco or a low buy afterwards unless this is a brazen force attempt, and Lohan's looking stressed. This could be the 2-0 start for Heretics with their pick of Icebox up next. The beginning of the end spelled out in front of Liquid as 11-9 is the scoreline they'll likely have to battle back from.
And this was, looking at the pool, other than maybe a split, this was probably the safest pick that was going to be there for the side of Liquid. This was a defensive side that we were sort of marveling about. We were talking about how impressive this defense had been, how teams had struggled to get anything done. 2 rounds of everything played, and well, as you mentioned earlier, the duels between Benji and Nats had only ever gone one way. I don't think that's going to be the story today, unless maybe you flip the names.
Yeah, I think it might be about right the other way around. The story is of Rian's 26-12 at the moment.
He's kind of good.
An unbelievable display, digging deep in a moment in a map where they need it more than ever. Team Liquid struggling, and Nats traded out quickly. I thought that could have been a change of pace. Pressure put on A, big play up on B, but instead this push comes into empty space as Team Heretics gear up for this A take that is right now for free.
Oh, it's Woot's going back. He's just decided, you know what? I don't like being the second best Turkish player in the server at the moment, so I'm going to try and find some players as they run away, and where you just look at the A site, there's nobody there. Only really looking for sound cues. I think realizing with the drone that, okay, there's a few dangerous positions we're yet to check, but from here on out, it should be comfortable. The only player I'm really looking at is Serial. He's been having a great performance. A lot of it has been individual brilliance and headshots, and hey, almost work it out with the salvos. But almost in a round like this doesn't really win you anything.
Exactly. All or nothing in this round here. Paranoia thrown through. It's not caught them, but and we come back to the weaponry they've got. Time delay, all that Heretics need to go for. Spike plant's nice and open. Woot. He's taking a risk. Going up top. They've got main control, they've got heaven, they've got players on site. Spreading themselves thin against these pistols. But it seems like Team Liquid, they won't be going for this. They'll be containing. They'll be looking to cause damage. Keep that economy modest, and for some players, it is getting a little out of hand. One maybe? No, nothing for Serial on the way out. That's Woot with a 4-piece. A lot of pistols that he was up against. Once he's hit that 1,000 kill mark, he just keeps on running. 11-9. This is what they will have discussed in the pause for Team Liquid. This is one of their, if not the last chance, for them to have a map that we came into nearly certain they would show up on, especially after the 5-0 start.
Yeah, the way that they kicked off this map, it was looking like a done deal. Very calm, collected, and as it was mentioned on the desk, how difficult it can be to play the attack side with the comp, but they got more than enough rounds. The funny thing is, it's the defensive side that at the moment is letting them down. The operator being brought in is a change. They've tried to get aggressive into middle to no avail. Well, it's a change of pace altogether from this attack side. Nats, he's been overwhelmed in a lot of scenarios. Well, he's overwhelmed again. Wu continuing the form of the last round. 4 in that one, 2 far more high impact ones in this.
Now that op, good in the early round, good when posted up. It has to fight back into the space. It's going to clear all these angles. The trade's not easy to find, but they've caught Benji unaware. The spam off the reveal, not quite working out, but Miniboo drops Camo. That's the op on the ground. Unlikely to be recovered as they seek to battle it out with the rifles. But it's Heretics winning that battle with flying colors and 3 chances to close out Team Liquid's map pick. Last time they faced in a BO5, or faced at all, it was 3-0 in the other direction. But what a difference time has made to this battle.
Across 3 maps, managing just 15 rounds. It was a dominant display from Liquid. And bear in mind, that was for qualification to Bangkok as well. That was was basically Paditech sending or leaving the Heretics boys at home. This time, a spot in the final awaits, a battle for a trophy, something Heretics have been looking for a long time, but they've still got a way to go just yet. Kiko stepping up alongside Camo. They might be bleeding, but this roster has proven before that until you hit 13, the map is not done.
The man left alive as well. In some series, we'd look at this and go, well, at least it's not Miniboo. At least it's not Benji. But by God, Rienz has hit godlike form.
I'll be honest, I never think that. Anytime it's Rienz, I'm scared. This guy's too good.
A Plantier gets him a Hunter's Fury. The glass broken, they know where he is. The push-up from Camo as well. He's going to have players coming in from the top and the bottom of the map. The reveal, though, he's trying to bait them in. This is beautiful. But they're slow as well. They're not giving them the opportunities. I like this from Liquid, the discipline on display.
There's no need to get aggressive. You have so much utility. You have the net available. You can even go in with the extra sensor if you need, but it's not going to be the case. They catch him before he can really become too dangerous, before he hits his full peak power. But it's another single round in the blip of many. And I don't mind the idea. It feels like Heretics were just on a steamroll. I'm just going, okay, let's just try this once more, running into the A side. They won't expect it again. We've been able to overwhelm Nats. Nats is 11 and 19, which it's not the worst statistical line, but you know who Nats is. You know the performances he's been having over the last couple of games, especially. He has dragged them kicking and screaming through matches when needed, but in this case, he is down there. Kiko also struggling versus this squad. But they're not going to care if they get it to overtime. That will be the main thing for Liquid. We know that they've had these late resurgences. Again, I hate to keep rubbing salt in the wounds with EBL, but 5 rounds in a row. Oh, you were thinking of the Na'Vi comeback. That was a different in-game leader, so I wouldn't blame Nats for that. And even versus Fnatic, the game for qualification, it looked done, and then they ended up having those moments still, going to overtime. It's a squad that knows how to go the distance, and I think that's why we've seen the coaching staff, even after just a singular round, go, yeah, let's pause. Let's make sure that whatever we're about to do, it's impactful.
That's interesting. 4 aces for Heretics in partnership, 15 for Liquid. Sometimes they've needed those. You look at this, though. Look at the score line on the bottom.
Brian's up on today.
They haven't been able to chain together 2 rounds. This, somehow, coming into this map, you would not have thought this possible to ask, can they get 2 in a row? On the defense, but Team Liquid have had that problem, and it's a great predictive play from Rienz. After the first tag, Kiko is hunted down.
They've used that dimensional drift in tandem to give that opener, removing one player from action, but the trip in a sneaky spot has managed to even things up. Camo even looking to go back in, reclaim space, get into position once more, turning things back into an advantageous position alongside Paditech, leaving just Miniboo standing. They used their ultimates. They threw everything into this one. And just look at the patience from Liquid. They know once again, hey, I give this guy an individual fight. Maybe my head goes missing. Maybe I give them a way back into this round. But if we stick together, he doesn't stand a chance.
net and salvos to work with. No gate crash either for Miniboo. Sometimes he could go tap it on A and take his gate crash over to B. Got none left to put down. The rotation is going to be a long one. And Team Liquid sitting outside the entry of A, waiting to throw that utility through and end this round. But they're going to have to use it to clear out space because this read is good. Now, there's still a sensor in play. He's going to have to walk past it. Probably going to get caught by it. No, makes it through the corner as well. But it does give the info to Team Liquid. They now know where the hit's coming through. And they can hopefully contain him on that side.
Yeah, I wonder if the giant shotgun is going to be brought out by Serial. Might end up being his demise, but looking to try and run through, clearing the few angles that are left, but you'd hope that this one wouldn't go unchecked. Miniboo in a bit of a sneaky spot. They've all got past it. Two already go his way. It's a mistake from Liquid. That might just be the end of the map. Camo trying to bait him in, and Miniboo has done it! The Ripper clutch to close out a set! It should have been impossible, but instead, Heretics sit 2-0.
Unbelievable. A correction of the last time they played. It was 3-0 to Team Liquid. Heretics have come in today and they look to dish out what they were served in that lower bracket final. One more map for Team Heretics and it's all the way to grand finals.
Water. One thing, Patrick, look at me. Show me a smile.
Where's that show you that smile?
Come in, show me a smile.
You're making me laugh, that's not fair though.
Gia? Right. Nafik, show me a smile. Oh, it's last game, honestly. Everyone accepted it, right? Be honest. Is everyone accepted it?
Yes.
Are we accepting this game? No, not a chance, right? Nafik, we're starting the game 0-1. Who cares? Nafik.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Like a butterfly, you flip a switch, keep a secret, let me come inside. When you run the gamut, but you could never find it. You keep on breathing when you're in it. If you give me a piece of your heart, you keep easy when you are a part of two worlds. It could be nothing, maybe it's something. Keep your eyes on me.
Heretics continue their winning ways, this time on Ascent against Team Liquid in this lower final best of 5. I'm your host, Yingsu. I've got Kakuka back here with me, joined by Petra. How on earth are we sitting here talking about a Team Heretics 2-0 after the first 8 rounds of Ascent?
Yeah, I think that Team Liquid started with a very good idea of what they wanted to do. We saw a lot of set strats and very good rounds coming their way. We understand why they wanted to pick this, but it's something about the double duelist with Team Heretics that makes them feel very comfortable.
Yeah, I really expect them to be a little bit more proactive on defense, especially with double duelist, but I guess it wasn't needed.
Yeah, and maybe, I know people like to throw the word vibes around a lot, but Petra, I think a lot of that helps for the side of Team Heretics. They've all got each other's backs in these situations.
Yeah, definitely, and you could see that they were very involved in the emotions were coming up. Miniboo was a bit frustrated in the beginning, it seemed like, and later on he was on fire, and after winning he was so happy and relaxed.
Yeah, the energy.
1v3, just like Riens on that insane one that he had in the same part of the map in another match, but it's crazy to see that at any given moment, it doesn't matter that it's a 1v3, you need to take into account that Heretics might still win it.
Yeah. I actually cannot believe that they won that, even towards the end. I was thinking OT, you know, towards that it was going to be OT. But Kakuka, let's take a look at some of these execs that you wanted to revisit.
Yeah, exactly, because I was really liking and enjoying what Team Liquid were doing. I think that Patty Tech was such an important piece to all of that. Petra, you were mentioning how Miniboo was feeling a little bit overwhelmed at the beginning of that, and probably Patty Tech was on the other side provoking that kind of reaction. All of this set strats with this executes, putting Camo, of course, as the tip of the spear, and then just having Serial coming in with the wall and putting a lot of pressure, left them with a lot of comfortability. And of course, Team Heretics wanted to battle out again before the spike went even down, because playing for a retake when a deadlock has already have their utility down is only going to be more and more complicated. And this is one of the reasons why we saw such a strong start for the side of Team Liquid. And then Neil called it a timeout and was like, guys, I think that we don't fight them here. I think that we need to choose our angles a little bit better. And they won an eco after.
Is this it? Have Heretics finally gotten over all the trauma, Petra? Are they going to win a trophy this year?
Seems like it, right?
Right?
Yeah, right.
There's something in the air. Maybe I'm just coping a little bit, but the old Heretics, the one that we knew previously last year, maybe wouldn't have been able to recover on that map. But also, it helps when the best player on the world is on your team, you know? Yeah. Everyone else says Riens is the best. Would you agree, Petra? Is Riens the best?
Well, it shows.
Yeah, he's proved it.
Absolutely. I think that this is one of the maps where Sova for such a long time has had so much impact. He makes it look easy at some points because yes, he has the raw aim, he has all these characteristics. His ultimates are always on point. He's always at least good for one. He also got an ace because why not? A little bit of the eco frags, but still that goes into the numbers and just keeps reassuring on why Riens is the best.
Yeah, I think Bosa summed it up the best, right? When you're in an advantageous situation, why is Riens winning that? You know, why is Riens doing all these things against your team? Because he is doing all these things time and time and time again. But here is the million-dollar question now. Can Heretics keep this up? Are they going to be able to 3-0 Liquid the way that Liquid 3-0 them back at kickoff in this lower finals as well? Because if they are, they will be going to the grand finals tomorrow, and they will be going to the grand finals with all the confidence, Kakuka, in the world. And they have a real chance of getting another revenge match tomorrow.
Absolutely, and getting their first trophy, everything is aligning for them, and especially they need to remember what is happening right now. Okay, like you had the read on your opponent. Team Liquid did not pick the split, so it's kind of like in the bag. You already got Ascent. You're about to go on to Icebox, and to me, this between this first two maps and what we're going to see now, there's going to be a big difference, because we've been seeing the two teams running. Team Heretics was running the double duelist, and we see Team Liquid running the double sentinel. But for Icebox is a very different story, and I think that both of these teams have shown both their strengths and their weaknesses on the map.
I hope they learned from yesterday, Petra. What did you think about Heretics Icebox yesterday?
Yeah, it's a bit of a coin flip, it seems like. I think they're going to play different than yesterday, of course. They won it earlier in this journey, I think. And yeah, I think they can play better on Icebox than how they played before.
Are they going to go back to the Tejo? Are we going to see Riens on the Sova?
They're going to listen to the advice.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what is going to happen on this last map? Also, as we can see, Team Liquid is going to be starting on the defense, and I think the Team Heretics also made some changes in the way that they were executing, especially against Fnatic and the sites that were preferred. Because we know, okay, it's Icebox, you're gonna go A a lot of the times. To be precise, Team Liquid, when A has gone A, 74% of the time. So there's a high chance that it's going to go on that way. I think that this match has been about the attack a lot. On this map, I'm looking at the defense.
Yeah, it might be a similar story, you know, for Heretics. I mean, they couldn't go B yesterday. They tried to go B yesterday, and they got shut down very, very, very quickly. And this could be very poetic for them to end on Icebox. But similarly, it is not out of the question for a reverse sweep. We have seen it one time before here in VCT EMEA, and I think it was against Heretics. Yeah, so maybe that trauma they have to get over. And Nats, if there's any time for him to whip out a speech here. Petra, you've reverse swept someone before.
Yes,
so how did you do
that's very
it?
true, yeah. I mean, as long as your mental is strong after losing 2 maps, because your mental is going to be challenged, right? You can definitely win. And I think Heretics is not gonna let them.
Yeah? But where do you start with a reverse sweep, you know, when you guys did it? Was it this important map 3? Was it just from round 1 get-go that you felt like we have to do it from here?
Yeah, I mean, we had a pep talk in the room together, and I mean, we have been playing for so long, so we knew anything can happen in every game. And they put everything to win, so the energy ran out, and we still had like so much power to go. We're very motivated to win, so. Yeah.
So in a best of 5, which map loss do you think is more harsh? The one that you lose like 13-3, or something like that is a 13-11, 13-10? You know, which one is more difficult to come back from?
Yeah, it's a good question, because you use your energy a lot when you fight so hard in a close game. It's maybe a bit harder to come back from.
Oh, well, the good news is Patty is all smiles over there, and so Serial. They're listening to this speech right now, and let's see in the agent select if we do see any changes. No, they choose not to go back to the Tejo. Is this a mistake?
I want to see if maybe some of the ideas that they had yesterday they couldn't pass through because of Fnatic changing a couple of things and having a good map, and I want to see if that makes a difference into today, because Riens is a brilliant Sova. That is something that you cannot never not account for. On the other side, Patitech, again, I think he did very, very well on Ascent, and his utility was having a lot of effect, and I think he's going to be, has to be the one shutting down Team Heretics.
It's going to be annoying, right, Petra, the KO?
Yeah, it's annoying, but I definitely think it's very good to work around. It's not the end of it.
Yeah, Liquid have a chance. They have a good chance. I mean, if they do win here, I'm going to start being a little bit scared for Team Heretics. They have to defeat their demons, Mitch and Tom, at some point this tournament.
The 3-0 revenge for Team Heretics. Desolation for Liquid, who've looked otherwise very good, but after that first map, who knows what we're gonna see here on Icebox. This is the choice of Team Heretics, the second pick that they went for, Tom, after what we've just seen, map 1 and map 2 in Team Heretics' pocket. What are your expectations for Icebox?
The thing is, we end up in more of a middle ground. I think they were undone when they tried to play this when facing off against Fnatic. I think Fnatic had a very good game plan of isolating Benji Fishy. Like we saw that regularly, like constantly pick him out of those lurks on that attack side. I want to see if that's something that Liquid have been able to pinpoint as easily, and more so has there been adaptations. The other thing that was to note for Heretics was Minibu had a really rough map. That hasn't really happened so far throughout the series. He's looked very good, and if he's firing on all cylinders, I don't think it matters what Liquid do.
Well, that is a scary thought for Team Liquid, coming out of this BO5 without a map under their belt. Now looks like a possibility when Ascent was a surefire win for them coming into it. Team Heretics on the attack, and a lot of utility waiting for them on that A side. Players just outside. Now they've got a good idea where the hit's coming through. Miniboo not deterred by that util. The suppression nor the decay will keep him back. He grabs an opening.
Yeah, already passed the nano swarms. I don't think they expected them to be that deep into the site already. It was a quasi-flood position from the defense, hoping to get in a little bit early. Instead, they've taken a hefty amount of damage, and on the other side, Miniboo is as fine and dandy as ever. Woot is going to add another to the death toll. This is looking rough for Liquid in the pistol, and they've got to try and get past Miniboo and the full force of this defense at this stage. The wraparound, okay, it's not pretty. But there's only one man left standing. Serial to do it all, at least with a couple, but the remaining two, they're just playing post.
Yeah, and there's no need to overextend at this point. Serial already low, time on their side. The defuse out in the open. An easy connect as Benji already sees it's not being stuck. Now the time more so in their favor. Benji wants to shut it down. 1-0 for Team Heretics, a pistol as they claim the first here on Icebox. This map will be enough to end the series.
Always a difficult team to play against. There's not many that are able to successfully run this Neon, but when it works for this squad, it definitely works fantastically well. I also think Woot moving over to this Gecko has been enjoyable. Like him being able to play these more aggressive flashes, put himself into aggressive positions. The same can be said for Camo though. I feel like it's one that can work quite nicely for duelist players. And allows Patty to play the agent that sort of, I want to say not made him famous, but got him back to the position we know he could be when playing as a stand-in for the Heretic squad. This round at least a few no-scopes for Boo. All about building up those orbs.
One thing we talked about extensively was just Banshee, not just on this map in their last series up against Fnatic, but in this last time that they played as well. The fact that Nats was shutting him down consistently. I've just checked for the first two maps. Benji's +7 against Nats, +9 against Serial. I mean, he has been dishing out death across the board. And it looks like
good.
Yeah, he absolutely has. But when he faces off against Benji, it's a different story. He's only taken him down one time so far. We see a near flawless round. Serial, the only one to pipe up, dropping Mini Boo, but still 4 players left to take down.
This is sort of what I'm talking about with the Woot flashes. Is something I want people to keep an eye on throughout the map. Like, you know that there's going to be, a lot of the time, a sort of more passive Gecko where you're throwing flashes for other people. Woot is not doing that. He is throwing a flash and then he gets the kill himself. He's assisting his own kills with this sort of aggressive play. It is almost added in as this secondary duelist, even when it's not, because you're still going to be the one planting the spike. For Boo, this round has definitely helped with earning up those orbs, but I'm looking more so towards Woot. One away from having the Thrash already, and for Liquid, this will be the rifles, but as mentioned, the differences in the two teams' bonus rounds, Heretics come in with a very strong buy.
Yeah, there's not 3 pistols backing up a couple of recovered pieces or carried through. This is a very strong buy indeed for Heretics. In fact, it gives them that basically back-to-back full buy. For Team Liquid, your challenge early on is the defensive side on the B site is about to be, well, looks like it's about to be pressured. 3 players there, Spike is there, Benji's gearing up for that flank play, but there might be an attempt to draw a rotation or even just to read what is going on, what the play is from Liquid, because you've still got Boo sitting outside the A site, waiting for a play that is just now coming through. And he hears those rotations. He's heard the steps away. They know that this fake has worked towards B. Will they claim the A space or look to take everybody down?
There's multiple layers to the lurk, but at this, okay, at this stage, I was going to say they're walking into the stack, but it's Mini Boo that's just been spammed out through the smoke. Extra util becoming problematic to hold them back, and now we finally start to see them make their move. Turret being destroyed, but if anything, that kind of gives the game away that there's still players on that other side of the map. It's an opening pick for Liquid, but
30 seconds left.
They will be having to play versus that post plan. And I actually think this is where, well, that ultimate for Woot can become so much more dangerous if he can catch a couple of players with it.
Spike.
Rotate from Liquid. It's caught Benji at least. The snake in the grass dealt with. Inside the few rifles. Woot not really given an opportunity with everyone coming in up top. Boo does well, finding the first, isolating the second, and the rest of the squad steps up. Thrash will be sent out. Patatek, he's up top, he's safe and isolating, finds, but Woot from the rope takes him down. They crumble at the hands of this attacking side, even after the opening pick. Team Liquid, they're stalling out, 3-0 down.
A little bit slow. Like, I think it was the flash thrown by Panitek. I'm not sure if it was a Thrash, it was just thrown to basically slow them down a little bit. But Boo underneath was completely blind. And it was only after he got his vision back that anybody went to peek him. Just a little bit too slow on the reaction.
Nice, guys.
Well, Woot's off to a flying start. 6-1. Obviously getting all those additional orbs from planting as well. And when you are up against map and series point in the best of 5, obviously sending them out, but already with that qualification to Toronto. 3 players currently on the goose egg, 0 kills. It's not the start you're looking for if you're a Liquid fan. Bear in mind they started 5-0 on the last map and still lost.
Yeah. And we said it in the last one, once that ball gets rolling for Heretics, it's difficult. There were a few bumps in the road, but around here or there on Team Liquid's Ascent defensive side, it's unheard of. Sprinkling them in amongst the feet. Good thing about this one is huge read from Team Liquid, or just a huge gamble. 4 players in position, and Heretics are running right into it. Lots of pistols, and they might not pose much danger alone.
I think they have the info though. Like at this point, at least 2 or 3 players have been spotted on this side of the map, but it's almost coming down to a level of disrespect. They want to fight into this, even seeing players on the wraparound, but it doesn't seem to matter. They have walked into the full force of this squad and still seemingly coming out on top. 3 players alive, and well, eventually Benji's there to finish them off. As you said, it was a good read or a good stack up from the side of Liquid, but they still only got 2 kills.
Even the wall couldn't save Nats from Benji now. He is out for revenge in that battle, dropping Nats yet again, putting 4-0 on the board. Like you said, this stack, it looked dangerous. The pistols with numbers, that's where they pose a serious threat. But in the end, there was nothing to be scared of if you're Team Heretics. Wonderful stuff by Benji to close that out.
Nice go, boys.
And smiles all around in the Heretics camp. It feels like they are gearing up for this 3-0. The rifle round now stands in their way. A full buy for Team Liquid. And even on Haven, but they didn't win a lot of rounds. There were a lot of rounds that came close. Can't count them out.
Okay, maybe there's a chance for Patatek to get another bite of the cherry.
So,
Miniboo doesn't seem to want to allow it. I said, if this guy gets going, it really does feel like a done deal, and Orian's just even putting a couple of shots in. They won't get there in time to actually save Patatek, so he's gone from the fight, but this attack side will have to fall off. The lockdown is going to force them away. One player will get caught, but look at the defense. They've all gathered up together. They are looking to try and fight this, and the attacker just waiting for them here.
They expected it to be a rotation. They thought they'd give it up. The lockdown, it might have pushed them back, but they were not out of this round, waiting as the end zone flawless is locked in. The ult used by Team Liquid, the rifles in play, and it is a sweeping, resounding victory for the attack side. Now 5-0, a scoreline we saw Liquid with on the previous map, but one that so far it feels like only Heretics can come back from.
Yeah, it's going to be that pause taken, and you can understand why. An attempted mid-round from Liquid that has fallen completely flat. They've walked into the blender, and we are still sat with only 2 players, Patatek and Serial, to even be on the board at the moment for Liquid. The other 3 are yet to find anything. Kiko obviously picking up the solo duelist for this map, hasn't really managed to find that level of form, and when there's a shot at the trophy online, of course, we saw Liquid have an advantage and crumble. We saw them dominate the lower final last time around, but the story has always been about Heretics finally getting a trophy under their belt. Sure, the internationals are ones that I think most people are mentioning, but even regionally, the expectation is that this squad should have already won something. The first time they faced up against Fnatic, they were the favorites.
Right there.
And now they're looking to try and get back and get revenge on the squad that sent them to the lower bracket, maybe only for a moment.
Well, I think those stats might have changed going into this series. Perfectly balanced when it comes to 5v4s, almost the same win rate. Doesn't quite feel like the same here. Heretics looking like the better team. 2 maps under their belt. Opening pick goes to Kiko. A second as well. This can't be a round that they let slip, but if they had rifles, I might believe. The rest of the squad has pistols. Benji has taken down Nats, where previously he was the one being caught out on those mid lurks. This time he's the one to find that pick that equalizes, and with the lack of weaponry, gives them the advantage.
Unfortunately, that rifle just wasn't recoverable, at least yet. You Utility being left towards the B site as at least a little bit of additional information can be had, and it does mean that both Serial and Camo will be in position. Even just the beginning of this round being a little bit of a confidence booster. Kiko's first kills onto the board, but there's still so much more that needs to be had, and while dealing with Miniboo can be far more difficult. Even just pops the ult, maybe just for a little bit of a flex. Seemed like he already had the kills in the bag, but just wanted to make sure there was no way of getting back into this round. Panatek, he's been good, Mitch. But this is a little bit different versus his old squad.
Yeah, it really is. With just a Sheriff as well. Hell, give him a rifle and maybe he's got a chance. But they've got that spike planted, time on their side, flash dodged, and a big swing from Miniboo. A 4K and 6-0 for Team Heretics. It seemed like there was a bit of a bump in the road with the early fight. Camo getting himself, or sorry, Kiko getting himself on the board. Should be the other way.
Down A.
But an immediate recovery, and again, once that one rifle goes down, you know that the odds swap right back into Heretics' favor.
One enemy remains.
This is likely the round that was being built for. With a Blade Storm available for Kiko. Other than that, the ults are a little bit further away. Camo would like to get an AWP here just to have the Thrash available. More interestingly, Benji Fishy's out watching with an operator into mid. Just looking for that contact. In case anybody tries to aggress, instead they're grouped up in this ball around the A site once again, but Heretics are very happy to just stall. The pop flash will go through. Maybe a little bit of a sound cue to at least give them the idea that somebody is around this corner.
Nice flash. Kiko's going to be swinging, so is Camo. Good opportunity as they force the fight onto Kiko. Camo almost had one, but he couldn't quite connect. Miniboo surviving late is good for the trade, and the off up top picks off Patatek. That's the A-side hold, crumbled. Nats fills in the gaps, but he'll get nothing! Heretics! They are destroying Team Liquid in every round we've seen. It feels like their hands are on the reins and a few fingers may ease up, but their death grip is going nowhere. A 4 versus 1. And as good as Serial's been, close to an ace earlier, I don't think this one's going his way. He catches Benji. Needs so much more. He won't even be trying it. In fact, Boo's looking to hunt him down.
Oh, why not? Credits are almost maxed out for Boo. It will be after this round ends, so it's not really like he's got anything to lose. The same for Miniboo and for Rien, so why not throw a gun or two into the wind just to try and, well, remove the guns, but also just make this even more of a downer for a side of Liquid. The last few seconds will just result in that survival. But this has been the impressive thing. You go into a best of 5, okay, map 1. Maybe you want to start on a strong foot, you dominate. Your opponent gets their choice, you have the same expectation. Wasn't the case. Felt like it would be. Map number 3, you're getting into the middle ground. To hell, this ain't a middle ground. This feels more dominant than the first map. They've been so clean with it, and the worst thing is in this round at least, this looked like the setup. Like Liquid had that initial flash, it gave them the information, then they have the double flash. It's so difficult to dodge the pop flash from KO and Gecko at the same time, but they just don't hit the shots.
I mean, the re-aggression on main might have worked. In fact, he even got the pick, but it's the fact Miniboo's still alive up top. Instant trade. And now the rounds crumbled. With Patatek falling after, there was no road to recovery. The defenders, 4 players in position. A rifle for Serial, a bulldog for Camo, but the rest, they've got nothing, and they will be forced into a retake. The site take in full effect. Boo has a Viper's Pit, but it might not even be the round to use it. We'll see.
I think the lockdown was, they know that there's a bit of a gamble potentially on this side of the map. In fact, a lot being expended in this scenario. The attack ascending through way more than I would have expected. They even use a Hunter's Fury in the mix. They just want to make sure this round goes over the line. It's not even that much of an investment from the side of Liquid, but it's almost like Heretics just wanted to kick them while they're down.
Boo just sat around the corner. no need to take a fight, letting his teammates clean them up inside the pit. A phenomenal display from Heretics with 8 rounds now in a row. By far the most dominant start to a map. And it feels like there's no hope for Team Liquid. They have got a massive climb back needed. And indeed, coming into round 9, it was map 1, round 7. They had used all of their pauses coming out of it. Going into round 8, now going into round 9, it's the same story on map number 3. Desperation for Team Liquid.
And the most surprising thing of all is Nats 0 and 8. Like find me another game of Icebox when Nats is having that much of a troublesome time, but it does come with the leadership. When things go well, you can kind of focus that a little bit more on your individual ability. When the synergy is there, when you have that little bit of extra help, when everything's going badly, that's where you almost have to focus off your own game. But then again, you think about it, a lot of the time he's that B anchor. They really haven't gone B that much. This A execution has been an execution. And for the side of Heretics, what if you took this round in isolation and you told me versus a low buy, they used a lockdown, a Viper's Pit, and a Hunter's Fury, I've been like, they're nuts. That's so many ultimates to throw in, but you're 8-0 up. I feel like they just want that death-dealing blow already.
And a Thrash, I think, too.
Potentially.
I think they put all 4 in. Which is quite something. These teams, it was hard to separate them when it came to the stats. In the past, it wasn't too hard to separate them. Liquid with a resounding 3-0 victory. Many 13-4s and, what was it, a 13-7 in that mix. They looked like the better team last time they faced, but that has changed. This lower bracket final seems to be the end of the line in stage 1 for Team Liquid. 8-0. An unbelievable turnaround needed.
Better hope that whatever speech has come out from Nats, from Loan, from Yautzen, is maybe the best one they've ever had. This is the furthest behind they've probably ever been in a series. They have to try and come out of it with a victory. Padatek looking to take point. Mid control completely taken. And interestingly, a lurk from Wu on the A site. It's not normally the player you'd expect to see, normally the man to plant the spike, but maybe that's the plan, to really sell the ruse. There's still 3 players and a 4th lurking in mid. There is nobody really remaining on this side. That might be because there's an idea to go back. That could be a problem with how far forward Kiko is.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, I don't know what the play is here. It looks like Heretics pump faking to take light A space. The Woot will be the one lurking up. He's doing that right now, taking that control, sending out Wingman. Is this a fake to drag them off of B? The double fake from Team Heretics? They're not going back. But in fact, Team Liquid have not gone back either. They've not fallen away. Boo goes down, spikes on the floor, picked up, and now an attempt to plant it. It looks like that's a success. 3 versus 4, numbers not in their favor, but Miniboo manages to pull one back. Padatek is down, Rienz is low. In fact, he's down and out of the round. It's all on Miniboo. But a 1v2, a very winnable scenario from what seemed questionable moments ago. But in the end, Team Liquid will get it across the line.
Important return. An important read more so. I don't mind the idea from Heretics. Like you throw in your Gecko, you throw in the Wingman just to try and sell the idea that, okay, well, if Wingman's running into the site, that's probably for a plant, but they didn't fall for it. They knew that there were many players around. A lot of that could be down to the deep mid control that was taken by Camo, by Kiko. The amount of space that he had into mid is enough for them to hold the line on this side of the map.
Nice, good job.
Finally finding that first round on the defensive side. It is a long road back. And as mentioned, no more touches in with the coaches. They're alone for this one.
Turret has to be broken. I like it though. Kiko waiting for the peak, hoping to punish Benji. Doesn't work out this time. They'll back off from that early control. Now, Team Heretics, they already played that fake B into an A push. They're trying to bait it out, but it was the aggressive position from Kiko that gets them so much control. Now the Viper's Pit. When A has been working, you're going to pop this early, wanting to keep that control. A player pushed up close in it as well is Serial. He's got a gap. He's safe inside that pit for now. And for Team Heretics, getting him out of position, now that that nano's gone, will be tough. They'll be decayed as they make their way in.
Popped his own nano to try and sell the idea that he wasn't somewhere on the site. Oh, that was almost Nat's gone. That would have been the pit down. Instead, they planted just on the edge of it. Boo gone, Woot still standing, hiding on the edge. I don't know how he's still alive, but he's managed to get out of there with full HP. Gives them a man advantage and goes back for more. Woot in form is devastating, and Benji holds his back. It's going to be left all onto Serial, and it takes a monstrous clutch to give them their second round.
The light at the end of the tunnel, perhaps. Team Liquid, they've been down for 8 rounds in a row, but a return to form now, 2 in a row, much more needed. But this half, finally seeing some more hope. The good read, the player guarding outside of that pit as well, necessary, or this would have been a very different round. But what a play by Woot. It seemed like that was enough to take it across the line.
Michael. Good job, guys.
But Serial again digging deep when he's needed the most. He has been a shining beacon of hope here on this map, in this series as well for Team Liquid, going back to Ascent. A lot of big rounds.
Pace change, pressure, so much pressure put onto Camo. He's got Kiko alongside him at least, who has been able to survive and in fact even add another.
Monster on the loose.
Making things at least even after what was an attempted blitz through. Drone going to be put up top. That will give the game away onto Panitek's position. Means he can't peek, but Nats is already here alongside him. Again though, Heretics after this blitz have paused.
Yeah, but they didn't get to back yellow. Thrash is now denied. Nats spots there's still one here waiting for that peek, but Woot gets ahead of him. Fires the shot and takes him out, leaving Team Liquid with the disadvantage. Spike to be planted by Wingman. And the lockdown not going to put on as much pressure as they would hope. These players safely back in main.
A lot less ground to fight for, but they try and go ahead of it. But completely blinded is Panitek. He had nowhere left to go. And I want to reiterate what I mentioned earlier in the match. Woot with his own flashes. Like, think about the amount of times where, look, he has 2 assists. How many people do you think have been blinded by the Gecko flash and been killed? I think it's a lot more than 2. And that's because he's just playing it like a duelist. Like, he'll go swinging into angles, he'll throw his own little pop flashes there again, and then retrieves it, and straight back up with another flash. Both the remaining players,
because it's my
he is leaving them blind. 16 and 6 for Woot. We've spoken about this man on initiators, and maybe the fact that sometimes he's lost when not on the duelist. I think this might be the balance.
It looks like it. Setting himself up for success, as he is the entire squad of Heretics. 2 rounds in a row for Liquid, immediately interrupted. On the attacking side, are expecting aggression. They show a little bit of presence towards B. They wait for mid aggro. Players up in spawn even, but no one's seen. No early aggression means they go walking up towards A. Now it's a late double push. But as the circle fades, you'll see that there's also one player up towards the spawn. So A is a little bit lighter for now. The utility should bridge the gap.
Well, yeah, the other thing that's lighter is just the guns that they've only got. It's like a singular rifle. The flank is everything.
My ult is ready.
Hunter's Fury already bought into play. The turret just playing a tight angle, which will let them know that there's somebody around this position, and Boo is going to go looking for it. The flash leaves him in a bit of an awkward position. Doesn't really have the cover for the team, and Rians is looking the wrong way completely. 2 big kills coming up for Liquid, but Woot still standing. Mini Boo alongside him, but Woot's doing it all. This man has been an unstoppable force in this first half and still barely taking a lick of damage. Whereas Camo on the other side down to just 10 HP. It's Wu looking to add another ace to the tally. They may have not had as many as their opponents, but they're getting them all in this series.
Damn close to equalizing series versus all year long. Another ace and a dominant way to close out this half. Now 10 rounds for Team Heretics. There seems to be no stopping them in this half, in this map, or in this series. We'll be back with what could be the final half of the lower bracket after this.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Well, this has been a turning of the tides in favor of Team Heretics. They once played a lower bracket final against Liquid, and it was a 3-0. It may well be again, but the shoe is on the other foot this time, with Liquid moving on to the attack side, just 2 rounds under their belt. We thought Ascent would surely be theirs, Tom. It seems impossible, or certainly seemed impossible, to imagine a series where Heretics, after the form we saw them on yesterday, came in and dominated today. But what a resurgence this has been.
Well, I want to take one word from your sentence and apply it to Woot, because I think he's in his final form. He has been truly unfathomable. And you go back to the last map as well. Rians was doing exactly the same thing. Benji Fishy on map number 1. It really has just been a display in the depth of talent. That talent taken from the tier 2 and lighting up the tier 1. Of course, they're going to go aggressive in the pistol round. Sure, the first kill went Kiko's way, but it's already been a flood back in the other direction. And they're just set up for the retake. A deep alarm bot, which will give the game away.
That's spike, Wings.
And sure, there'll be a plant. What? Bravo didn't even get to see anything.
This is truly ridiculous. The pistol now a 4v2. Opening pick went to Liquid. From that moment on, it all went wrong. Riens sat in the background watching the boys find success. Time and time again on this map, it has gone to Heretics. And once more, a round falls in their favor. Team Liquid, 2 rounds versus 11. An unbelievable comeback needed. The odds stacked against them. The question has to be asked, do you take the eco here? 10 rounds in a row for overtime? Do you force buy? I don't know that there's a right call. There's only wrong calls from here.
I think you have to force, but you are correct. It's picking your poison. You force and you lose, you get the same buy again. You don't force, you give Heretics 12, and you're gambling on not only them just not winning a round as a team, but one of the individuals on the other side not taking them over the line. It just, that's never going to happen. So they're going to force. And honestly, I think it's the right call. You spread the risk slightly, but then look at the buy on the other side. They've come in with 5 Bulldogs. They are playing heavy into the rifles, looking to play at range. It's not the prettiest of starts. And honestly, Kiko's done well here. In fact, he's done incredibly well. Look at the HP, though.
Yeah, a lot of tags here. Still a chance to pull this back. It's not a standard 4v2. Camo and Kiko, just one shot needed. But Kiko, he's being the snake in the grass now. He's hiding, holding on to control. They're going to clear him. They're going to clear him. That's another pick now for Heretics. The numbers close to equal. Camo, 1 shot. The rest are healthy. And they've recovered some weapons. Patatek's got a Bulldog in hand. Time is ticking away in their favor, and a flash primed and ready for the big swing. The tap now. Oh, it's not even going to come in yet. Oh, great time delay. This is dangerous. That's the rifle. Down and out. Down goes Camo and Serial. He needs another clutch. He's down to 17 HP and he's gone. Riens stepping up to the plate as 12 rounds found for Heretics. A 2v4 clutch. And if not the beginning of the end, this is the final hour for Team Liquid.
That one's gonna sting. As if all the others had them before, but this is just the exact sort of round where you realize the depth of talent that is there for Riens. Predicts where one of the players will be. The only reason Patatek's in the open is because 2 shot darts were fired into the exact position he was stood in, and then at the end he's left to defend his buddy as he defuses. And well, anybody who doubted Riens from that point in the round is a moron.
The worst part is if that nano doesn't activate, they tap the spike, flash goes up, we might see the round go the other way.
They're doing it again.
Buy enough time.
They've got slightly more to play with, but there's slightly more players sitting in their way. Kiko needs this pick and he will not get it. They've met God Woot once again. And Riens is there to close it. It is Heretics with a decimation of Liquid. A squad with grand finals in their blood. And they have proven that they are well worthy of making another.
Well, they've gotten revenge for that best of 5 long ago. This time it goes in their favor convincingly. And now Fnatic, they know what it looks like when Heretics are out for blood. a best-of-5 grand final. And this team has earned their shot at the king for a second time.
An incredibly impressive performance, I think, from start to finish. And even though it's defeat for the side of Liquid, you can still see the smiles, the respect, especially from Paditek. He's always spoken very highly of the individuals on the other side of the stage. I don't think he was particularly surprised with what he saw. But this is exactly what you want to get from Heretics. For Liquid, of course, a lot to learn from this match. They're already on their way to Toronto. That's the main thing to take away from this. But now they go back to the drawing board. Look at some of the comps that were picked apart by the explosive nature of this Heretics roster, this roster built on young talent. And why I mentioned it in the last, that there was a chance for Riens to come out with double the kills of anyone else in the server. That's exactly what Woot just did, by the way. 26-6. I think one of the best performances we've seen all the way through the stage, and he has left it right until the end. The Turkish Talons taking map 2 and map 3, and a little Benji Fishy for map number 1. That was honestly insanity.
If they come in with that kind of form, we could have a quick grand final. Fnatic better bring their A game tomorrow. This has been a joy to witness, Tom. But before we go down to the stage, to the interview, let's take a look at the Pay Safe card play of the day.
What's this gonna
It's
be?
Mini Boo's 1v3 to close out Ascent. Have a look at this.
It could have been one of about 15 plays, honestly, but I do understand why it was this one. I think even going back to the sort of end of the map with these wraparounds, Woot having an insane game, Riens having an ace, Benji Fishy. But it was this from Miniboo. Not only in a 1v3, not only was it around, you can see the scoreline, you know where it's going, 12-10, but it's that late reposition that just completely caught this Liquid squad off guard. And honestly, it takes a lot to fool a squad. It takes even more to land the shots at the end.
Yeah, those first two, they weren't looking. This one, though, straight up diffing. Let's go down to the stage where Yinsu is standing by with Benji Fishy and Boo.
What a great day to be a Team Heretics fan. I'm now joined by Boo and Benji. First of all, you guys were telling me a little story about that Mini Boo clutch that we just saw in the Pay Safe card play of the day today. So talk me through what was going on in the comms. Was he confident he was going to win that?
I think you talk. You can tell a good story.
Yeah, I mean, so it was silent for a long time because, you know, normally silent in the clutch, but Domi was speaking the entire time. Like, he was running from spawn to B, being like, guys, I know I'm gonna win this clutch. Like, I'm gonna 1v2, like, I'm gonna destroy these guys. And then he did it. What's it? He set it into life, you know, like he wished it. So
manifested it.
Manifested.
Did you believe him when he said it? Be honest. Oh, okay.
I mean, of course. I knew that there is a good chance because they gave him so much space.
Oh, okay. I mean, you're always smart with these things, Boo. Now, what happened between yesterday and today? Because that was one of the greatest turnaround, I think, in form. I'll start with you, Boo, because it wasn't an easy loss yesterday.
Yeah, it was hard. Yesterday, I think the biggest thing what happened yesterday is we were not 100%. We had things unsaid to each other. Like, not everything was out in the open. So that's what we did after the game. We spent like an hour here in the prac room and just talked, because there is no time to prep in game. It's all mental game. And yeah, we talked out. We understood the situation we're in, that if we don't perform now, then, you know, we don't go to EWC, we need to play qualifiers, we don't go to grand final, we don't get the chance to get the, you know, second place course broken. So yeah, it would be so sad.
Is it fair to say that you were fired up, perhaps, today?
I think so. I think this was like the Heretics that we should have shown yesterday. I think Fnatic played really well and exploited some of our weaknesses, but I think we realized that the main weakness was ourselves, like the main enemy was ourselves. And yeah, we just locked in. I don't know. Yeah, we locked in.
You did more than lock in, I think. Now, does this mean the mental block has been broken? You know, as you head to the grand finals tomorrow, you're probably aware, the entire narrative is Heretics, please, 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 this is your time to win a trophy. Is it time now, Ben? Do you think all these losses you've all learned from it and today kind of showed that?
You know, I think if I was to go into tomorrow thinking about the second place curse, we would have already lost. And I think that's the same for the rest of the team. We're not gonna think about the curse. We're just gonna play the game, you know. So yeah, and if it goes well, then it goes well.
Boo. Aww.
Yeah.
Is that your dad?
Yes.
Oh, hey, Papa Boo. Yeah, carry on.
You asked about a mental block. The thing is about mental, there is no like, no stages. Like every single day you need to kind of overcome it again. Like every single day you wake up and I don't know, something might be different, and that's what we work on every match day, every practice day. Yeah, it's not a given that, okay, now it's lifted. It's also not a given that we cannot win. It's just, I don't know, a job of every day.
It looks like you probably have reached that point now because, you know, even against Team Liquid at kickoff, something felt like you weren't 100% there, but I think you guys proved yourself on stage today. I do want to quickly talk about some of the in-game stuff though, because we had Boaster on the show yesterday and he was very surprised that you have already moved away from the Tejo on Icebox. Is this a conscious decision you made, you know, given the up-and-coming patch, Boo, or is there a different reason?
It's combined. Like it was coaches who suggested it. A little bit about our current game style, a little bit looking towards the future. So, and also it's a comp that we played before, so we have macro for it. So yeah, it was just like, I think we should do it. Okay, let's do it.
And
but it's not about the comp, as we all know.
What is it about then?
It's all in the head.
Ah, okay, so it was pure mental game versus Fnatic. Is there anything to do with the fact that it's such a wholesome rivalry? You know, you guys, we see you guys even before you get on stage, you're always laughing and joking, and Rians was doing Harry Potter spells back to them, and maybe you need to be more fired up?
I mean, you know, I think we can have fun, you know, off the, you know, when we're not in game. I mean, when they're in game, you know, I don't see like, you know, if I see Viper, I'm not going to think, oh, that's Boaster. I'm just like, oh, it's just Viper, you know? Like, I'm not thinking about who I'm playing against when I'm actually in the game. But outside of the game, I think I like to have fun. I think the rest of us like to have fun. It's two good teams, good vibes. So, yeah.
And what separates you from Fnatic, do you think? You know, what are the differences when it comes to maybe playstyle or identity? Because from the outside, maybe the differences aren't too big.
I think they're a very smart team. You know, they've got a lot of experience. But I think for me, when we are like on point, I think we have like the best firepower in the world. So, and today I think we showed that. All of us were on point. And yeah, I think that's the big difference that there is between us and other teams.
Yeah. I mean, you were carrying Rians on map 1.
I was.
That was crazy.
Yeah, crazy. Who would have thought?
And Boo, of course, with the map vetoes tomorrow, you won't be able to get a ban. So how do you kind of prepare yourself and how do you approach a best of 5 like that?
Yeah, it's hard with the bans, but it's also hard with the time. We don't have much time to prepare for even the maps that we want to play. So it's just going to be similar to today where like it's not about the, I don't know, strategies or anything. It's about how we perform, how we talk to each other, how we, I know, like set our mind before the game. And it's going to be same tomorrow. It's going to be harder map-wise, sure, but anyone can win any map, and they know that as well.
Yeah, I mean, you have overlapping maps too. That's going to be really interesting. And very last question, Petra was with us on the desk and she was talking about how no tournament run is ever the same. Even if you make 5 grand finals in your case, it's never the same. So what is different about this time compared to the other grand finals you've made in the past?
I mean, I think we are different. Like, the more tournaments you play, the more you learn, the more different you look at things. And yeah, I think she's completely right. Like, you don't look at the grand final. Like, the road to grand final is so long and so different each time that, yeah, it's a different run every single time. And yeah, I think we're just more experienced, more calm. I think our skill ceiling is so much higher mechanically and as a team. So this is probably the best chances we ever had with this roster.
What about you, Benji? What's different this time around?
We're just better, you know, like we're just, I don't know, like I think this is the best, if we exclude yesterday, I think this is the best form we've been in, like ever. So yeah, we just have to prove it tomorrow. That's what it is.
From where I'm standing, it's the confidence. You all seem
Yeah.
As a team, as a whole, you know, very, very confident. That's great to see because we want a good grand final. So congratulations once again today. Thank you for a quick day, by the way. We're going to come back for a very long day, I'm sure, tomorrow of a grand final. Thank you to all the fans that came out today and to you guys at home for watching. But make sure you come back tomorrow because Heretics and Fnatic will be fighting for a very important trophy. Have a good night and we'll see you then.
Another three-piece for Benji. Make that four.
Okay, look. Benji Fish aim is here. Yeah, Nuts aim is here, bro.
Benji Fishy, the man of the hour. Unbelievable performance. Heretics looking dominant on map number 1. Well, this is exactly what they needed to get right back on the horse.
Another one for Benji. He seems to make every single these rounds so desperately close. Trying to bait him in a mini-boom has done it! The Red Bull clutch to close out Ascent! It should have been impossible, but instead, Heretics sit 2-0.
HP and he's gone! Rien's stepping up to the plate.
They bet God Woot once again. And Rien's is there to close it. It is Heretics with a decimation of Liquid.
Let's do something crazy, get a bit wild today, cause we don't do this every day and we deserve it. Life is so amazing, nothing is in our way. Baby, let's fly away. Do you feel it? Is your heart rushing the way my heart's rushing when you take it all in? We should, we'll feed the fire. Let's see it through and let go of what's holding us back. Just light it up and we'll burn through the past and take it higher. Is your heart rushing the way my heart's rushing when you take it all in? Baby, this is where we come alive. Do you feel it? Take the world by storm, just you and I. You and I can't believe it took so long to realize. This is where we come alive. Do you feel it? Take the world by storm, just you and I can't believe it took so long to
it on focus. Came a long way from the lowest. Yeah, gotta get it the mindset, gotta put it in motion. This is the moment, gotta one up my opponent. Back then they ain't noticed me, now they know it's me, I'm the chosen. It's my time, yeah, I put that on Bible. No excuses, gotta get to the final. Take all of my idols and turn them to rivals. It's all or nothing, man, the trophy is vital. Game time, bet I'm coming in clutch. No hang time, man, they can't keep up. The game's on the line, seconds on the time. Who can't fight? It's gotta be us.
Better under pressure, go ahead and let it fall on me. I'm destined for it all, you better call on me. They say what doesn't kill you make you stronger. All that pain, it done made me to a monster. They say what doesn't kill you make you stronger. All that pain, it done made me to a monster.
Yeah, whole lot of times they doubt it. I wouldn't be who I am without it. Sleepless nights, I count it. It all paid off, it's really astounding. I had to keep the faith to elevate. Hope for better days, they were coming. Now we can celebrate, knowing every day is abundant. Yeah, it's my time, yeah, I put that on Bible. No excuses, gotta get to the final. Take all of my idols and turn them to rivals. It's all or nothing, man, the trophy is vital. Game time, bet I'm coming in clutch. No hang time, man, they can't keep up. The game's on the line, seconds on the time. Who can't fight? It's gotta be us.
Better under pressure, go